All right. How are we doing over here? Me? I am in heels. I can't do Okay. I will, but later on. For now, I hear Makerere University, Ndeje and Umkat haven't shown us anything. Don't we have representatives? All right, do we have representatives from Makerere right here? Anyone from Makerere? You guys. Okay, anyone from Umkat that wants to show us what they've got? No one. Wow. Anyone from Ndeje? You guys, get serious. Sorry? YMCA wants to come back. Okay. Before YMCA comes back, Makerere, you guys, honestly speaking, I can't stand here and say I am a proud alumnus of Makerere University and then you let me down like that. So ladies, you want to come and challenge? You want to come and do something? Okay, if you are going to share content from today's event, make sure you use the hashtag MCI Mobile Newsroom. That is the official hashtag that we are using on any photo, on any tweet that you make. Is it still called a Twitter or an X? On any X that you make, on any sharing that you make on Instagram, on TikTok, or on X, be sure to use MCI Mobile Newsroom as the hashtag. And of course, you can tag I am Challenge UG for X, Twitter, I am Challenge UG, DW Academy, and CAS Uganda, as well as Seagull Foundation. That is SEGAL Foundation. Now on Instagram, you can tag us at Media Challenge UG, and the same goes for TikTok as well. Patrick, would you like to come up?
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you, Yada. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to make just a few announcements. The universities that have not yet taken their works to the radio team, please do so. And then the other announcement is for the radio interviews, we shall be using one phone, which is in the studio. So also get guided on that. I also want to take you through how we are going to be doing our presentations. The very first university that is going to be taking the center stage, all doing their presentation, is Makerere Institute of Social Development. And I will kindly ask that you take your way to the radio studios now. We shall be moving in this order. MISID is going number 1. Number 2, we shall be having Makerere University. Number 3, Central Lens University. Number 4, Uganda Christian University. Number 5 is Uganda Matters University in Kozi. Then Umkat School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Then Kampala International University. Ndeje University. Victoria University. And lastly, we shall be having Maltech Business School. So the rules of the game will be, as the first university takes center stage in the studio, the second university should be preparing this side in the training room. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yada?
So as these teams are going to be presenting, we will be expecting maximum cooperation from us here in the auditorium. You will be allowed to cheer, but only if it does not interrupt the team that will be presenting in the moment. Do we understand that? Is there any university that hasn't gotten their time of presentation? Do we all know when we are getting to present? Have we all gotten our order? Awesome.
Maybe to just repeat it. MISID, you're going number 1. Number 2 will be Makerere University. Then number 3 will be, Central Lens University. Then number 4, UCU. Number 5 is Uganda Matters University in Kozi. Number 6 is Umkat. 7, KIU. 8 is Ndeje University. 9 is YMCA. 10 is Victoria University. And 11 is Maltech Business School. So at this particular time, I believe the first university has already moved to the studios so that we get started. We are choosing to give you just a few minutes to get into this kind of order, and then we can officially start this radio contest. Thank you so much. DJ, you can just take us away shortly.
Pull up in a beam, too much, too clean, I'm taller. Don't foster, serious and other. A big time player, crib too big and kinda. I went flexer, Tina said gym, too hot like a heater. My neck down froze like winter. I'm very on liquor, Shades on the picture. MJ on the sheet, thriller. Funny vibes every night. Answer, Nam Talagati, Costa, I can style like fuck. Pull up in a beam, too much, too clean and taller. Don't foster, serious and other. A big time player, a crib too big and kinda. I went flexer, Tina said gym, too hot like a heater. My neck down froze like winter. I'm very on liquor, Shades on the picture. MJ on the sheet, thriller. Funny vibes every night. I forget. Recupera diverse. To the full set, the Otama Yakajet, the Lebana Babades. Oh yes, my babies are oh yes. Oh yes, my babies are oh yes. If all these things go down, period, I need to make a dive. But I forget. Recupera diverse. To the full set, the Otama Yakajet, the Lebana Babades. Oh yes, my babies are oh yes. Oh yes, my babies are oh yes. If all these things go down, period, I need to make a dive. Style like folk, pull up in a beam, too much, too clean, I'm taller. Don't foster, serious and other. A big time player, crib too big and kinda. I went flexer, Tina said gym, too hot like a heater. My neck down froze like winter. I'm very on liquor, Shades on the picture. MJ on the sheet, thriller. Funny vibes every night. Answer, Nam Talagati, Costa, I can style like fuck. Pull up in a beam, too much, too clean, I'm taller. Don't foster, serious and other. A big time player, a crib too big and kinda. I went flexer, Tina said gym, too hot like a heater. My neck done froze like winter. Don't bet it on me. Liquor, shades on me, picture. MJ on the sheet, thriller. Funny vibes every night.
Yasizwa lesigubhu sinamandla sazokhila bafuna ubumnandi nomdanso thina sobanika nika 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 Yasizwa lesigubhu sinamandla sazokhila bafuna ubumnandi nomdanso thina sobanika nika nika Nika, 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 siwe, mana siwe, 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 imani, siwe, mana siwe, siwe.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this year's Inter-University Radio Contest. Yeah, I welcome each and every university that is here, the team, the MCI team, the universities, the participants. You're most welcome. My name is Patrick Sentongo, and I'm going to be your host for today. And the story is, a few years back, I was also on this same stage. I did the magic, and today is your time to tell your story. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I welcome you.
Funny, actually, because 3 years ago, we were about on the same stage.
Sure.
And we were doing the same thing that most of you are going to be doing today. We were auditioning to be a part of the MCI fellowship program. And 3 years later, we are here, totally different people with totally different stories to tell. And if you could see, yeah.
That was you in 2020?
Yes.
Yeah,
This was right after the auditions, and we had just made it to the fellowship program. And standing here before you is a whole different person, a new person. That Yada right there was a young girl with dreams. My name is Yada Wanjiko. I am the show host for the Top 7 Countdown and the Request Hour at Galaxy FM. And I, too, am going to be your host for today. Today, we have the Inter-University Radio Contest 2023. And we are going to be having new experiences. New stories are going to be told. And today, we usher you into that. For now, though, all eyes on the screen as we look through our journey for today's story and where it all started.
Welcome to the ultimate showcase of talent, fun and emotions. Lights, camera and action.
Talent, fun, and emotions captured in the audition.
At IMC, students from over 15 top-notch universities come together to compete and shine in the world of media.
The round table, my name is Kelvoni and this is Afro.
Join us as we witness the excitement, drama,
Thunder, wake up!
and passion of students. Don't miss the actions.
Sanyuse maaso ebisige ne bikuba engalo.
Stay tuned and be part of this media extravaganza.
All right.
We'll be making it through today. We have the people that are going to help us determine the 6 universities that will be making it to the grand finale. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Our judge number 1, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Faiza Fabs. All right. So Faiza Fabs, real name's Faiza Salima, is a radio show host at 933 KFM and a presenter on NTV Uganda. She's an outspoken creative individual and media personality who uses her brand on mainstream and social media to drive conversations and create impactful change. Faiza believes that true journalism should be accessible to all and uses her platform to voice the concerns of her audience. A digital lifestyle influencer and content creator that speaks to an audience of over 100K followers on her platforms, sharing on life, career, tourism, and food culture. She has worked with some of the biggest brands and campaigns in Uganda, building content and conversations that speak to brand personas and identifies with her brand. She's a patriot, visionary, and advocate of self-reliance with a dream of starting her own media brand. Ladies and gentlemen, Faiza Fabs. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just not enough. Put your hands together for judge number 1, Faiza Fabs.
Okay, it's working. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you so much. Good morning, guys. How are you? Are you fine? This is radio. Because you know radio people don't see you. They know your voice. So your voice has to be the biggest thing you can project out there. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor, as always, to share my passion for radio and to see people who share a similar passion for radio. And hopefully, by the end of this, 6 universities will be on their way to becoming the next big thing on the airwaves, right? Do we know which university is going to be? You all are here, so that's important. Now, of course, I'm here to invite the next judge. And the next judge that I'm inviting is someone who's really, really special. Saw my talent from the start, mentored me as well, and he saw the star in me. I want to give him a worthy introduction. Please, join me as we welcome Simon Peter Senyendo. He's a distinguished co-founder of the Media Challenge Initiative. He boasts a prestigious career spanning the world of media and media literacy with a distinguished certification in radio training and media literacy from the esteemed Josh Well Academia. He has been a prominent figure in the field. Now, Simon has lent his expertise to reputable stations, including 88.2 Sanyu FM, Radio 1, FM 90, shaping the Ugandan radio landscape. As a long-standing judge for the Inter-University Media Challenge, he has cultivated emerging talents in the industry, currently in his role as a radio trainer and talents manager at the Media Challenge Initiative. Now, Simon continues to be driving force in nurturing the next generation of media professionals, ensuring that the industry thrives with innovation and competence. Please put your hands together for Simon.
Thank you very much, Faiza. I hope you can hear me. And I have the honor, I will have the privilege of working with the amazing Sandra Kopp Masiko. Now, if you don't know Sandra Kopp, Sandra's experience in broadcast media is in both television and radio. Sandra has worked for the biggest brands here in Uganda, and she now presents a show on NRG radio, the NRG event. She has worked for Sanyu FM, and she still presents a TV show on CTV. I have the honor of working with a friend who has huge experience, and you'll be hearing from her. Sandra, over to you.
Thank you so much, Simon. It's so surreal to be here after like 3 years, as Faiza said. I was in the same fellowship with Faiza. And like I said, it's so surreal and it's so humbling to be here. Simon has been my mentor and one of my trainees as I took this journey with MCI, and I'm quite honored to be here. Well, I'd like to introduce the next judge, who is not here with us but will be here a little bit later, And his name is Arinaitwe Henry, also known as Mr. Henry. Now, Mr. Henry is a presenter and also an award-winning media personality for Galaxy FM and Galaxy TV. He is also the CEO of Communications Fixed Agency and the Pearl Hunters Tours. Now, this guy is a jack of all trades, and he is also a master to all because he's also a life coach, a motivational speaker. Well, as I said, he'll be here later with us. But I'm so glad to be here. Welcome, all of you. And I wish you all the best on this journey. Your journey starts now. For us, it started just 3 years ago. But of course, we have judges like Faiza, who I have looked up to so much. She started this journey before me, and in many ways, she has been my mentor as well. So just know that even if you're beginning now, the time doesn't matter, Faiza. It's what you put in and the experiences, and to learn from everybody that you can. You're in a very good place right now, in good hands. So I do wish you all the best.
Beautiful words from our judges today. A round of applause for all our judges in the house right about now. A round of applause, please. Thank you. All right, just as a reminder, like we said, if you are sharing any content on X, on Instagram, or TikTok, the official hashtag is MCI Mobile Newsroom. And you can tag I Am Challenge UG, DW Academy, CAS Academy, and Segal Foundation on X. And on Instagram and TikTok, you can tag Media Challenge UG. That is at Media Challenge UG. Before we can officially start today's contest and competitions, allow me welcome Mr. Antonio Kisembo to give us an opening remark, and then we can kickstart.
Thank you, Yada. Let's appreciate our hosts. Are we excited? But we don't seem to be. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, participants, welcome to the Inter-University Radio Challenge. My name is Antonio Kisembo, and I'm excited that we have reached this level. It has been a journey. We have covered around 16 universities, and those that are able to participate today are 11 universities. Let's clap for ourselves, by the way. Now, today we'll be getting the 6 universities that will continue to next level, which will happen around 13th to 17th of November. So the 6 universities will be announced today. So if you want to pray, you should start praying now. The judges will be able to identify those universities for us, and at around 5 or 4 there, we should be having those universities. In a special way, I want to recognize heads of department. If you're head of department and you're here, please stand up for recognition, and we clap for them for making sure that they get the teams. Yes, I can see from YMCA. Any other person? I saw someone from UCU. Please stand for recognition. I saw from Nkozi. Thank you so much for being with us. And also in a special way, I want us to clap for our partners, Conrad and North Tufton. Let's clap for our partners, DW Academy, for making sure that we are here, and Segal Family Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have much to say. All I want is to be part of the people who are going to watch you as we identify the top 6 universities that will continue to our next level. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chisembo, representing the Media Challenge Initiative. So just a quick reminder on how we are going to be rolling. University number 1 is Makerere Institute of Social Development, which is in the studio, ready to take us away. Number 2 will be Makerere University, followed by Central Lens University, then UCU, Nkozi University, UMCAT, KIU, Ndeje, YMCA, Victoria University, and lastly, we shall be having Maltech Business School. I ask that you kindly take note of that so that we do not have any delays in between. At this particular juncture, ladies and gentlemen, allow me invite the first participants of the day. put your hands together for Makerere Institute of Social Development taking us away right now.
MISD Radio.
Good music. The only station with the best music.
My radio. Make it your radio.
The news on MISD Radio.
So now this is MISD Radio, a news read to you by Meshach Etano. Beginning with what is happening right now, the Inter-University Media Challenge competition is underway at the Media Challenge Initiative Hub at the Tiro Party Mall in Kabalagala, a campus suburb. 10 universities and institutions of learning are gathered to showcase their practical skills in journalism, where 6 will proceed to the next level, slated on 17th of November 2023. Our reporter Samuel Busa is live at the auditorium. Samuel, can you get us?
I can get you. I just don't know whether you can hear my voice.
I can hear you. Can you give us an update? What is going on right there?
Okay, Mr. At the moment, I'm here at the auditorium of Media Challenge Initiative Hub at the Report Mall, Mazima in Kabalagala. What I can see here is almost some people are nervous, some of them are preparing for the contest. I'm sure that maybe they are looking for the best that they can present. As I talk to you now, Makerere Institute for Social Development is at the panel. Remember, just Makerere Institute for Social Development, Makerere University, among others. What we can say is everything is normal and we hope for the best. Remember, the challenge just started a little bit, but every person seems in position to take part and make sure that they are among the 6 universities that will be selected. Back to you there in the studios, Mr. Misak. I'm somewhere reporting for MISD Radio here at Mazima Mall, the Republic.
The situation is tense. That is what we can hear from Samuel Mbusa. Thank you very much. And moving on in our national news, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni has urged arts teachers to cope with the issues of salary increment of science teachers while celebrating 61st Independence Anniversary in Kitgum, saying the science teachers are highly needed in the country. This comes after the arts teachers raising their concern on the issues of salary discrepancy.
On the issue of salary for scientists, our scientists, and this is my logic when I say the scientists should get more pay for now, because otherwise we shall all be killed. That was my logic. So therefore, if these are scientists, academicians, now because we need them urgently now. It's not that we are against the big people. Even now, me as president, I get a small salary. I refuse to go for higher salary.
That is the voice of His Excellency Yoweri Museveni. And moving on into our international news, countries under the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, have told Israel minister that they will stand by his country after attack by the Hamas. NATO has made clear that they are providing practical support to Israel. And in a twist of events, Russian President Vladimir Putin has lamented on Israel's target on civilian population in Gaza as unacceptable. The same NATO accuses Russian forces of committing in Ukraine. Over 4,200 people have been killed so far and more than 1 million displaced since the outbreak of this conflict, as UN Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres calls for ceasefire to allow humanitarian aid flow into the Gaza. And before we close in our news, we dive into our mini feature where we look at the plight of the elderly people in Buyayasel, Buama Town Council in PG District, who are alarming of the long distances to the health facilities, as our reporter Samuel Mbosa narrates.
Remote village of Buyaya, nestled within Boamatauni Castle, an elderly resident, John Francis Katumba, at the age of 81, marked a somber milestone, 6 long years of confinement to his humble abode. Mr. Katumba's life, like that of many elderly people in this community, is one characterized by solid poverty and an overwhelming lack of accessibility to essential services. Moreover, the only government facility, which is Boamahele Center 3, is at an odorous distance, a distance of 3 kilometers, serving the entire Boamatauni Castle. Navigating the journey to seek medical attention has been nothing but a straightforward for Mr. Katumba. During our visit to Buyayasel, we encountered Tamari John, a fellow resident, echoing the same sentiment of despair, asking pagant question, government, where are you? Josephine Nakawongo, another resident, expressed her despair in seeking government healthy facilities. She repeatedly been told that medicines are unavailable and she should try again later. Although our journey was curtailed due to fuel constraints, we decided to consult the local council chairperson of the area. John Bosco, the LOC1 chairperson, validated the sentiments expressed by the elderly members of his community. He is acutely aware of the hardships faced by his elderly people in the cell.
That is Samuel Mbosa there narrating that and more in our subsequent news in Lingua Franca in Luganda. Good morning. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in to MI2 Radio in your living room, cling tight to your family. You've got it right. And if you're driving your car up north, west or east, ladies and gentlemen, remember to always put on your seatbelt, reduce on your speed, observe road signs, and make sure you respect other road uses, and don't forget to raise that volume of your radio, because hey, guess what? The switch is already on. Don't miss that out. And of course, at MI2 Radio, we say we set the pace for others to follow. Good morning.
That was the news on MISD Radio. MISD Radio.
Good music! The only station with the best music.
My radio. Make it your radio.
Tesese bulungi tena abayizi baffe tukkiriza nti
MISD Radio.
Good music! The only station with the best music.
My radio. Make it your radio.
MISD Radio wetwogera ku kusanyusa kino kye tubategeeza. Nate wetwogera ku kumanyisa tutuukira ddala mu nnyumba yo nga tukutuusaako ebyo ebibadde gy'otabadde wamu n'ebyo ebiri ku kyalo gy'owangalira wano mu program The Switch ku MISD Radio.
Era ntende tusagaza.
Oh my God, back in action. Congo Gwe. Numbolo. Yasolo. Sekete. Dagala mugabe ya musina chimate.
Naye busajja gwe katugale maso mwasuza mtabane musibye
mulya mtamwe naje muri abakumide ku MIS radio tuba tuyingire ne program the switch nange mwana mula Katrina nenga njagala okusoka okutumira ku basajja baboda bannange mwebale kubanga mututambuza bulungi yona je tuyita n'obyanza labanga tuyita mu kajjamu okulaba nga tuka ku mulimu gw'obudde bukyali bannange tubagamba mwebale nnyo eniyo program the switch metukuletedde amawulire go agali current celebrity gossip njogala kinde kati yona yona sigala ng'oliko nange Katrina.
Alright, nange Eric Praise mustudio manyingire munyo kubanga tukutambuza mpola mbabuzaako kubanga tutuse mu program esanyusa budget the switch owekirimi gyayita the fifth oba kyekyo simanyi nega program the switch nkubuzaako mulungi yazokuse ku macha nogenda mbuliri ozuka nogenda mbuliri yazokuse ku macha nokateeka kachayi chayi nenga chayi toyina sukali ate nga ne gold tonali bugumyako likyannyogo ng'ambe ery'ettooke kubuzizaako mulungi yagenze mu buliri ng'oli mukalu n'ozukuka ng'otobye. Oh my god,
eddakiika ziri 3 zennyini ezibulayo okuwera essaawa 6 gw'etuntu y'olunaku olwaleero nkubuzaako munnaffe nengamba wasuza otya osiibye otya eno yennyini ye MISD radio oli wakabyo kubanga otumbule MISD radio yenda switch tugenda kuba tukutwaliriza ne Makerere Institute for Social Development tuwebaza mukama Katonda asobodde okutukuumira okuva Monday paka Friday akadde kano kenyini bukatuukidde yenze kenyini sendira Simon Peter musajja akulaba kyalo musajja ow'ekiriva kisalira emitwalo 9 tukubuzaako tugenda kuba tukanye kintu kimu kyokka bakaziki konna akakutwaliriza wali mu kajjamu ng'olya n'ekyemisa nakyo era kye tulina okola tutandisa omuziki be
MISD Radio.
Good music. The only station with the best music.
My radio. Make it your radio.
Ladies and gentlemen. Swear. Swear. Everybody do the swear. Girls on dance. Everybody can you do girls on dance. Who's the pass right? Start for the champion. Bana basite ndiyo baguba mupira baromaliyo batwala birisebo kachimana bino njoke nkutwale mbiro ndiyo kiro kujane 00 vetuli bana baje tutambuza jeje tuli bana bamu dunda wa fame generation order mubagamba order tetugana order kubanga tuli bana bagonda.
Oh God, you need to make the peace and unity, because love is the only way to go now. Bros, nah, don't be like this, so hey.
Stand up, yeah, stand up, yeah, stand up, yeah, stand up, yeah. Beri panga, bari pira boda, beri cha, bazanyira, bari nyamuteja, beri panga, bari pira boda, beri cha, bazanyira, bari nyamuteja.
The station with the best
music.
MISD Radio.
Oyo abadde mwana mulenzi Eddie Kenzo ngagamba bali pira boda mwana oyo ayina engeri jagana nakubamu Eric
bali pira boda chichi ababoda bafuse kinaku zino
nedda eri abantu abali pira boda yebatasobole eri omuntu ajja nakulipira nga kitufu ali pira boda
bulijjo li boda
wentumira kubona bonna abampala nanti mbagala nnyo naye mwali pira boda naye nga onako lwalo Eric okajjamu okalabyo tawo awo okubuddawo
kajjamu kantwalaganye naye njagala okugamba gwakyesigikirize wakango gamba simanya abakama bwajagira banga jamu akutte fe twayiseewo okutuuka gye tuli va mangu yakogende ku mulimu nkubuzaako mulungi aje kumideko MISD radio kajjamu kakutte mikwano kanyaga kulagira gwave Makerere ngate oda side ze kabalagala obadde ogenda kozesa town ogende ku Entebbe road ogende ensambi oli koge kabalagala kugamba mukwano jamu akutte wantu awo era yinza okumawe dakiika eziwera ng'emmotoka zikwamye kwoteeka ebitaala enefudde naye nga ve Makerere nkugamba yite Makerere ogende Wandegeya ogende Kamocha ogende ekibuli ojja kubanga ogwa bulungi ekabalagala naye ennaku zineno tubajja tuzukanga tutobye fenna naye nga sikufuka ku buliri
ekyo omwana mulenzi akinyonyi embeera y'obudde
kubanga azayambadde ekinankani kineno kyena
of course akakubako katuyisizaamu eggaali kiro kyajjo kasuze katonyerera n'amasanyalaze ne gavaako ate nze sinaabaganyogo gabanna
mubufunze tewanna sijja kimalayo
esiku eziri kati nsobola okunaaba esi naye nange gwe kyenyinza okugamba nti gwe ave waka ng'olumbe okola emirimu gyo mu kibuga kyenyinza okugamba nti teweerabira mu bbaga yolina okusookamu ka ambuleera oba ekizibaawo kye bayita ekijirikooti kubanga okutandika n'essaawa nnya okutusa mwezi essaawa kati wa ssaawa nnya paka ssaawa 9 tusuubiramu akakubakuba okubeera nga katonyerera era nga we tujjidde ku mpewo nga ebire waggulu bikutte obudde bwe bayita obwakinnyika ggobe
kakati enfulumidde mpapula z'amawulire olunaku lwero naye njagala nnyo okumanya
mu studios gyegatiddwako mwana muwala Sunny Makerere atunudde ng'omuvuzi wa benzi ng'omuziro gwe Toyota Sunny Makerere tubuulire ebifulumidde mu mpapula z'amawulire.
Yes. Straight away to the press review, Daily Monitor, the front page. Uganda tightens security after border. Uganda tightens security at border after ADF terrorists killed a tourist couple and driver. That was their tourist guide actually in Kasese. You need to grab one copy and have a test of that. Then also in the Daily Monitor, we have on the front page the Vice President, Jessica Alupu, greeting His Royal Highness, Charles Wesley Mumbere. So let's go straight to the...
Alright, nange nenyingirawo na mpapula ga New Vision kubanga Sunny watuuse wano nashalingirako kyampadde kya New Vision. New Vision kyekulembeza y'omugagga bijodolo omubedo omunene ebinyonkondo nga kati wetwogerera ali mabega wa mitayimbwa ra biliyoni 2 zokka nene nebuuza omugagga sente nga zikuyita balwaki obatezi bazikusibya naye nga tuvudde ku ekyo abalambuzi abatiddwa ati poliisi evuddeyo CID evuddeyo negamba waayi tulina okunyweza mu nkola zaffe byonna bisanga kati mu New Vision ku muko ogw'omusanvu nga nvudde ku ekyo waliwo abali mu yimba ani ya chituga ani ngamba music bataddeyo wanene omuyimbi eri wamala bataddeyo Navio bataddeyo Juliana Kanyomozi ne Jose Chameleone
nange bukedde andi mutana afulumye amachago lunaku olwalero wano bakuteredde ku mugukiro mbwa amaanyi ga Iran gatiisizwa Biden bubano bisange ku mukogo okubiri bakutereddeko wano mbu amaanyi ga Iran gatiisizza Biden awadde Isiraeli obuwumbi bwa $10 ne bakuterawo wane ennyonyi kika kya namunkanga nga abajasi bazitaddeko tugenze maaso wano ne bakuteerako olutalo lwa sipiika n'abanuupu lugaziye baba no bakulaze ababaka abali ku ludda oluvuganya gavumenti nga bafulumye parliament kati gwasobola okwogeza ekifaananyi baba no bano balinga abagamba n'alaawo ensi wamu tetwagala naye nga geego agabadde mu mpapula z'amawulire kye tuyinza okugamba nti bannange akubagulizaako oyagala wambazi kirira ogende weegulire kopi kikukakanya okunuuka ensingo ng'olingiza mu gaffe
kituufu ekyo
alright
wetwogera ku kusanyusa kino kye tubategeeza nate wetwogera ku kumanyisa tutuukira ddala mu nnyumba yo nga tukutuusaako ebyo ebibadde gyo tabadde wamu n'ebyo ebiri ku kyalo gy'owangalira wano mu program The Switch ku MISD Radio
era ntende tusagaza
naye manya tusinza okusanyusa olunaku olwaleero
sinakitegeera
tusinza okusanyusa yoyo omwana kyagenze nayogerako sendira n'agamba nti bali bagenze okwekalakasa nga tebasayinize kalawe nsasobola kuba nze mulamu akafo g'olunaku olwaleero bannange twagusharinze dda ku Twitter handle eya @MISD what would you do if a friend of yours trusted you with a secret? Would you choose to keep it with you or you display it out? What do you do?
lwaki muleeta ebintu ebyo
omuntu akedde ku maca nakugamba
ekyama ng'ekyama n'okimpanze enganze
okikolera ki
mpozi nga tewali aleeta ssente
Lekinyiza okugamba bw'oba oyagala okuuma ebyama byo nga tebiise obe nga ogenda kufa nabyo
abikuwe
genda wali weeguleka kabadde obitereka kubanga ffe abantu
naye nga kankuveeko gwe musajja akula bakyala sobola akozako naye nga mwana mulezi obothi yatuuse dda wali eriku bwayise taxi terminal ali wali eri n'abantu be bwayise bali willing okwogera ku mulamwa gwaffe gw'olunaku olwaliro obothi
Katorina Sendra ne Eric mu studio mwebale nnyo okuweza ekibuga n'eggwanga lyonna okutwaliza ewa mulamwa gwa singa mukwano gwa kuteresa ekyama n'akugamba ne bwendibanga afa tokyogeranga osobola kukisirikira oba omala n'okyogera era olunaku olwayise wano wesinkanidde abatuuze ab'enjawulo naye nga tugenda kuwuliza endowooza zaabwe ku mulamwa ogwo ntuuze bano bye bagamba okyogerako ki ku mulamwa guno
amanya agange nze mugava Asumaani sinzidde wano kuba mulamwa ogwo singa nze abeera nteresezza ekyama kye sobola okitereka nenfa nakyo nga sikyogedde
Pampita Martin asangibwa bwayisi nsula naweeru alesinga oyo nga si mukwano gwo so kigambo mukwano akuba nti temukimanyi what is mukwano yo mukwano gwo nga era nga asobola okutereza ekyama n'eddaame lye kati aba kuteresa eddaame ekitegeeza nti olina lyanjulira baana so mukwano gwo aba akuwadde ekyama kiba kyama ne bakutera akambe mu bulago ofa nakyo tegeera nola kyama
kulikayo mwana mlenze both naye nga wano ku social media handles waliwo omwana waneno bamita Shina Shatta agambe if at all you cannot keep it yourself why should I
sekuletera bwe bakumuntu we batine kubako gwe nyinyi waayo eba tekyali sekule
ndaba mwana mola Precious yansazeeko dagamba Katrina
agalese muri olulimi lwaffe
ndowooza Precious tutwale baso bebe
Precious Bazizane
bonjour comment tu vas
webale nnyo
The station with the best music. MISD Radio.
Les informations en français. Un très bon matin à notre cher auditeur. Merci beaucoup d'avoir écouté la radio MISD. Your smile is our priority. Nous sommes aujourd'hui le 20 octobre 2023. Dans les studios, c'est Precious Bazizani avec les nouvelles. Qui se déroule en ce moment même le concours interuniversitaire du défi de médias en cours à Media Challenge Initiative Hub à Kabalagala, à Kampala, en Baye. 10 universités dont un institut d'enseignement supérieur se réunissent pour présenter leurs compétences en journalisme et en 6 passeront au niveau suivant prévu le 17 novembre 2023. Son Excellence, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni a exhorté les enseignants à résoudre le problème d'augmentation de salaire de professeurs de sciences tout en célébrant la 61e anniversaire de l'indépendance de l'Ouganda. Disons que les professeurs de sciences sont très nécessaires dans le pays. Cela vient après que les professeurs d'art ont récemment exprimé leur inquiétude sur la question. C'est tout pour le moment. Restez à l'écoute pour plus d'informations. Asante sana kwa kusikiliza habari zetu za siku ya leo. My name is Precious Bazani. For more news, MISD team. C'était les nouvelles en français à MISD Radio.
The station with the best music. MISD Radio.
sijja kubiddamu kubanga biddamu sibitegedde dan français naye nga bannange ba colleague interviews bantasazeeko dda bagamba nti bannange nyawo you can take over
yo wetwogera ku kusanyusa kino kye tuba tutegeeza nate wetwogera ku kumanyisa tutuukira ddala mu nnyumba yo nga tukutuusaako ebyo ebibadde gyo tabadde wamu n'ebyo ebiri ku kyalo gy'owangalira wano mu program The Switch ku MISD Radio
era ntende tusagaza.
Education is no allegation of knowledge, but the formation of character. Welcome to the Colleague Talk on MISD Radio with me, Evelyn Akelo, your host, and I have a guest with me in studio, the head of department, Mr. John Peter Okuror from Makerere Institute for Social Development.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me in the studio. Thank you so much. I believe this is my first time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
A lot of news has been trending this week. Mostly what has made a lot of headlines, the unfortunate incident that happened at Katweka Batoro, where 2 foreigners lost their lives and 1 local. Then the war in Gaza, plus the news mostly had UNEB examinations. On that note, let's talk about the curriculum, the education sector. Senior 4 candidates, this batch closed the old curriculum. and the new one will start next year.
Yeah.
And on that very note, UBTEB, the Uganda Business and Technical Education Board, has also changed the curriculum for the Journalism Department, ICT, and Procurement, among others. As the head of department for journalism, what is, throw more light on this for us.
Yeah, one thing I have to say that these changes in the Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board are really crippling the institution. But however, as MISD, we have already held the ball and we're playing with it and we're preparing our students for the next. Just
what
like
changes
MISD.
have been made, for example?
One, the diploma students have been having 3 course units, news writing and reporting and radio. Today, we're having 6 on top of the 4, on top of the 3.
Business,
but we're
economics, advertising, and okay.
Thank you.
How are you preparing your students for that?
We're already doing a number of changes and discussions over and over again.
Let's wish you good luck in that, because UBTEB is just around the corner for November, December.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening into the Colleague Talk with me, Evelyn Akelo, your host.
Bannange mwebale nnyo.
Ago ge gabadde amawulire MISD Radio. Amawulire ku MISD Radio. Empaka ez'abayizi abasoma amawulire ziyenda nga luyira lwa kyanda. Okola ky'amaanyi gwa yekomedde ku MISD Radio. Nze Kamya Jonathan Kiyingi n'amawulire mu Luganda. Ekitongole enkyayo lwaleero kitokotaasi kisaanikire wali ku Media Challenge Initiative MCI Kabalagala. Ekitongole ekyegulidde erinnya mu kutumbula ebitone by'abayizi abasoma amawulire ng'era olunaku lwaleero lweziguddewo mu butongole. Empaka zino zeetabiddwamu universities eziwerera ddala 10. Mwannyinaffe Mukisa gyali atuwe ebisingawo. Mukisa.
Nziza nnyo Kiyingi, ndi wano ku kitebe kya MCI empaka za Inter-University Challenge Initiative ozikwagira. Amatendekero agawerera ddala 10 gegeetabye mu luvuganya luno. Ng'era obunkenke n'essanyu n'ebbugumu birabibwako ku bwenyi bw'abayizi abeetabye mu mpaka zino. Katulindire tulabe ani anaatwala nga kubanga amasomero 6 gegasuubirwa kubanga gagenda ku ddaala eriddako. Sigadde nze Righteousness Mukisa kula MISD Radio.
Neeyanziza nnyo Mukisa. Ebibuuzo ebyakamalirizo ebya senior ey'okuna bitojjera mu ggwanga Uganda era nga byatandika ennaku z'omwezi 16 omwezi ogwamukulukusa bitungotungo omwaka 2023. Abayizi batandika n'ekigezo ekyansomansi kiyite geography n'olupapulo olusooka. Ate olw'eggulo ne bakola olupapulo olwokubiri mu ssomo lyerimu. Abasomesa ab'amasomero ag'enjawulo bakakasizza era nga bategeeza nti mpozze n'ebantaanya ettamenvu naye bo beeteefuteefu. Gano be twakyaliddemu emuli essomero erya Kaluteeke bagamba bwe bati. Mutusonyiweko eddoboozi tujja kuba tuli bakubira. Enkyayo lwaleero abagoba ba takisi abakolera emirimu gyabwe mu Bwayise Terminal Park balaze obutali bumativu bwabwe ku ngeri abakulembeze baabwe gye babayisaamu ng'ekyokuttale mu nkola gye bakolamu emirimu. Era nga bano olukongolo basinze ku lusimba ku ssentebe waabwe gwe bagamba nti alina takisi zasoosowaza okusinga endala bwe ziba tezinnajjula abalala tebatikka. Ekintu ekibaleetedde okusigala nga bakukkuluma nga sseggwanga enywedde amanaabemu era bwe babadde balajja nabagambye nti abakulembeze baabwe beekube mu mitima babaddiremu nga Ssekabaka Mwanga bwe yaddira mu b'obugulu obutono.
Babakulembeze ayagala okusika nga alina sayidi gy'aliko ye nga ye gwe bakwasanga paaka eno chairman wa paaka oba mukwase no paaka ayagala nnyo ezaawo jambo ng'ate paaka terina kubeeramu stage 3 oba 2 omulumu kifo mu paaka emu nga olaba stage y'eruwero eyina stage ziringanga 3 eyina wano tekisoboka ekyo mu paaka.
Tweyanza nnyo tweyanzeege awamu n'ebyo ago ge mawulire sigala ng'okyakumidde ku MISD Radio Ssekabaka Ssebugulu bwa Nnyomo obukazi omubanda na Mufumbya Ganda Nantabalirye Batyabi awangaali. Sports updates on MISD Radio.
nate munasingo wa bwino mbanyingiddewo disantise jemba nga bulijjo ng'obe bumale wano n'akanyonyo kapaka ak'ebyemizannyo program The Switch on MIC Radio era nkawagidde bannaffe aba MIC Journalism Department sijja kulandaga nja kutandikirawo amawulire emanyo mu byemizannyo okwetooloola ensi yonna era sijja kulonzalonza nga ntandike nagafaano mu ddamu ggwanga Uganda liigi ya Binyera Star Times Uganda Premier League oluvannyuma international break eddamu okutojjera nate n'emipiira egy'enjawulo era nga olunaku lwe tugenda kulaba wali erugogo KCC ng'ezannya ne NEC tulabe Ginger SS ngezanya Nemba United tulabe nate Vipers ngezanya SC Villa wale kitende awe gabadde amawulire gaffe g'ebyemizannyo mangi gachajja mubeere bulungi
webale kwekubira ku MISD Radio okola
You're listening to AMCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. AMCI Radio for African voices.
All right. A round of applause for Makerere Institute for Social Development. All right. This team will be coming here for feedback from the judges. We will have 2 judges give us feedback for this particular team. But before we move on, there's somebody, I believe, from KIU that has misplaced their phone. So if this is yours, please come through and pick your phone from me. But another round of applause for the team from Makerere Institute for Social Development. Okay. As the rest come through, I'm going to, before the judges give their feedback, I'll give an opportunity to one of them to let us know what it felt like. And allow me start with the beautiful lady that I believe, Katrina is your name? Yes, how did that experience feel for you?
Okay, the fact that we are the first people, being the first is not something that is easy. In the first place, they're just making organizations, but it is good if I told you keep time. The rest were still there, time you'll make it up.
Amazing. I guess now it is time for us to be able to hear from the judges now that the whole team is here. Mr. Simon, we will start with you.
Please take it away, guys.
All right. This is Makerere University. How are you doing? Which university is this? Makerere Institute. All right. She was tough. She's like, madam. As judges, we've chosen to pick a judge to give our judgment, also our remarks to one team at a time, to be able to save on time, but also to be able to just have cohesiveness here. Okay? How are you feeling? This one is relax. Relax. Guys, how did they do? They did well? We think so too. You guys did very, very, very well. For the first team to take on the challenge, you did extremely well. So I'll start off with the positives. The gentleman in a suiti and a kanzu, please step forward a bit. Guys, didn't this anchor outperform himself? You know, when you walked past here and I was watching you, I said to my fellow judges, people have, you really, really did the work, okay? You chose the part, dressed the part, and truthfully speaking, delivered beyond expectations. If anything, you're the best performing individual on this team. Your voice is really, really good. You have great command of the language. You were very calm, you were confident, you were collected, and you're probably the best at handling crisis and technical issues. Because when that happens, you don't go quiet, right? You immediately let us know that we are sorting that out, the report will continue. You didn't get stuck there or look at the other guys on the team like, Vana, report here, you didn't get stuck. And that is professional work. You did exceptionally well. And one of the things that I really, really love about this team is that you guys are so energetic. You're so energetic. And this is a morning show, if I'm not wrong. You're so energetic. You have the right rhythm. You have the right energy for the morning. You are having fun. Because radio at the end of the day requires that you have fun. Your audience needs to know that you're having fun, for them to have fun. You had great chemistry. There wasn't at any one point where I felt like guys were not, like we're just throwing each other together in this thing. You had great chemistry. You were having fun. You knew what you were talking about. I love that you guys did your research. Each one of you, by the time you were on set, by the time you were talking, you knew what you were supposed to say. You had it at the back of your mind. No one was really stuck. And that is great. That shows that there's exceptional work that has gone into preparing yourselves for this. Okay? Now, despite all of that, there are a few things that you can try to work on, hopefully. The first thing is, there's a very, very thin line between radio and TV. I don't know if you guys know that, but there's a very thin line between radio and TV, especially for Luganda radio shows. If you ever listen to a TV show and also a Luganda radio show, you'll notice there's a difference in the way they present shows. You present it a little bit like you're on TV. That you know, where you talk on top of your voice, you speak really, really fast, that doesn't work for radio because people hear you, they're not watching you. So you have to understand that we are speaking to a different audience that will focus a lot more on our content than how loud we sound. That means that also you have to learn to not speak over the other person. When one person is speaking, you have to learn to let them talk. And that's very, very key and very important. So there's a very thin line between radio and TV. You need to have that at the back of your mind. And who would you say on your team is the lead presenter? You're the lead presenter. So why were these other people doing links and basically doing your job for you? No, it's okay. It's all right. It's a rhetorical question. The point is that you need to have a lead presenter, someone who is the driver of the show. And the driver of the show does the job of introducing people, does the job of connecting different content together, and generally creates how we're going to run smoothly here. When you have people who are also doing that, because it doesn't make sense for you to introduce the show, introduce the people that you have in studio with, and then later on, 2 other people do the same thing. It's very, very disorganized and unnecessary. And at the end of the day, we're wondering, who exactly is driving the show here? So you need to have a lead host and let that host drive the show. I know we all want to speak, but you have to have a lead host because it helps with being organized. Now, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen with this team. And I hope that the team that comes forward tries as much as possible not to do the same mistake. And I know my judges agree with me. You need to select one language, and that speaks to your audience. Because if I ask you, who's your audience, what would you say? Would you say your audience is a Luganda audience? Would you say that's an English audience? Would you say it's in the middle? It's in the middle. Both. Radio doesn't work like that. There's no such thing as we are both everywhere. No, it doesn't work like that. Even online radio doesn't work like that. You have to select one audience that you speak to. And that means that the content you create, how you deliver it is specifically for that audience. If you choose that we're going to speak to a Luganda audience, that means the content is for Luganda. And I like that you guys delivered on that. But then at one point, I'm seeing people speak English. And then you bring in a very beautiful lady who's linguistic, knows her French, knows her Kiswahili, English, and she spends time wasting airtime speaking another language. Who exactly were you speaking to at that point? Because as much as her content was great, as much as she did so well because she was so calm, she was composed, we're all impressed by the fact that she knew all those languages, but your actual radio audience is confused. What is happening? The radio channel, because they think that's what will happen. Eventually, your audience switches off and moves to the next thing because they don't understand what's going on. So you need to select one language and one specific audience we are speaking to. That also speaks to how you do your press review. Don't have somebody who's doing English and then also do Luganda. Because I could tell that there's somebody who did a press review in a New Vision in Luganda. That means you know how to do an English paper in Luganda. You will never find people at KFM doing a press review in Luganda, then you go to them and you find someone doing it in English. That can never happen. That doesn't happen in radio. You're speaking to one audience. Whether Daily Monitor, New Vision, Book a Day, deliver it in one language. And also when you deliver a press review, you're not reading off the paper like this, that Sandra Cope presents at the Inter-University. You don't do that. You're giving your thoughts on the paper. One of the person that did it exceptionally well was, where were the people who did the press review? Yes, the gentleman with a black suit. He did extremely well. He delivered it exceptionally well. So you have to know that we have one audience, and that's what the audience we're speaking to. Your interviews were very creative, especially when you had a topic in studio and you chose to take it out to the streets. That was very, very creative. We liked that a lot. Now, also, when you have an interview in studio, it's okay to have talking points. It's not a must that the things must be at the back of your mind. Of course, you read and do your research, but it's okay for you to have pointers here and say and follow through. Because when you talk to somebody in studio and you have a guest, you can't get stuck and then rush them through or even interject when they're still speaking. It's okay to have talking points and follow them while you're doing your interview. Otherwise, this team was very, very good. You did your research, you were organized, you delivered exceptionally well. It's a very big team, and you did amazing. Please clap for yourselves.
Thank you, Judge Faiza. Judge Simon, do you have anything to add on to that?
I wish you the best.
Awesome. Congratulations, Team MISD. Please take that route to the training room. And yes, we will see you much later. Afterwards, you can join the audience to the training room. Right about now, Makerere University is in the studio and ready to take up the next performance. They will be coming next. And if you are Team Makerere, you know this is the time to wewe in your heart. Team Makerere should be ready right about now. Our judges are ready, I can see. And they can get started. Also, I pointed out that if you misplaced your phone, probably someone from KIU, please come and get it from there. And also, we are live on YouTube, so you can share this event with your friends who are not here today, and they can also be a part of this event at Media Challenge Initiative on YouTube. The live is there, and they can stream from wherever they are. If you are sharing content, make sure you use the official hashtag, which is MCI Mobile Newsroom, and we will be able to proceed from then. At this point, Makerere University should be ready.
Mark Radio, your coolest internet station. 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 Mark Radio, your coolest internet station.
Girl, I found them.
Found who?
Richard and Maggie.
Are you serious?
Yes, I always told you those guys were sneaking around.
Shh, hold it. I have to go listen to Campus Pulse.
Campus Pulse?
The one for Lemon City.
And Eve?
Yes.
With Sammy?
Of course.
Yeah? Let's tune in. Wanna go never san.
Bani.
Richard and Maggie.
Ochikakasa.
What?
Olimba nawe.
Nze nkugamba mazima.
Anyumiza gwako obudde butuuse nino genda oliza Campus Pulse.
Okamba ya Lemon City.
Yeah.
Bana ne Eve.
Ne Sammy. Tugende tuwulirize.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Campus Pulse. My name is Lemon, Mr. aka Mr. Wolfers. My addiction is an addiction.
And of course, the one and only
and her twin, Sammy Love. I am here and ready to vibe.
And together we are
Campus Pulse.
Give it out for the highest class of civilization, the goddesses of the Campus Pulse. You know how we do it? It's the Mark Radio and you're listening to the Campus Pulse, the only show that's always going to give you the engagements and all keep you entertained. You know what it is? So you guys, like, we're ending the week. What so far has been your epic select week, you know, it's
Teleco story today in the morning. Banange obudde nabadde ngenda bukwata naye banenkuba erina engeri gye yatonnyeemu bannange ate ensula bwayise mamikwano.
Now that's the problem of staying in Bwaise. Now people like me from Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
I'm even dry, you see. Not a single drop of water.
What has been so good so far in the week? Like the week is closing. What has been so far so good for you?
Kyenyiza okwogerako ewiiki edduse. Wiiki twali twakayingira Monday.
So you like it that it has ended so?
Of course.
Okay. Sammy, what has been so good for you?
What has been so good for me throughout this week is that I've been relaxed. I don't know. I haven't felt any stress. And it is really shocking because usually every week there's stress. But today I am just ready to...
So, okay.
How?
She's the goddess of the Campus Pulse. This is how we do it, you know.
AKA.
So in this the segment of the Campus Pulse, we bring you some more updates about the sports updates, and together I want to inform you that the Premier League is coming back from the international break, and to give you some of the teams that are going to be participating on Saturday. That's the 21st of this month, and. Giving the updates, the early kickoff will be Liverpool kicking off with the Everton. We shall have Bournemouth and Wolves, Brentford versus Burnley, Manchester versus Brighton, Chelsea versus Arsenal, and the last on my list it will be Sheffield United versus Manchester United. For the football lovers, do you support football?
Yeah, of course I support.
What's your team?
Chelsea, Mukwano.
Oh God, you shouldn't have said that. Chelsea. So do you support football?
Arsenal all the way.
Oh, come on, you guys.
It's like me giving up, like yo. So everyone keeping locked for the Campus Radio, the Campus Pulse and the Back Radio. We are doing this so we have the biggest topic of the day that shall be coming out in the new segment that we shall all be looking at the social facilities, all other people that will be engaging in. So make sure to keep it locked. The Campus Pulse Show.
Of course.
We've got stories, we've got a lineup that will keep you on the edge of your seat. To start with Daily Monitor, biggest story headline, Uganda tightens security at border. On this event, it was the 57th coronation of the King of Rwenzururu, and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni called upon him to work with the government in order to check on insecurity.
I think it's a very great initiative.
Indeed, it will check on insecurity. Check that on page 4 and page 5. Furthermore, Chamber, a civil servant who exposed Amini's autocracies, dies.
May his soul rest in peace.
Very sad. Yes, to add more on Chamber, he was a MOOC student and an old student of Makerere University. This is on page 3. And to cross over to the Daily Monitor's entertainment engagement, there is a juicy story on why Ntale, singer Irene Ntale confirms falling out. Vinka.
That's catchy, by the way.
Yes, you should just get a copy. Well, Diane, by the way, what's there in New Vision today?
Well. This is what we have in the New Vision today. Kampala Land's boss has been arrested over 2 billion fraud. Don't you think this is such a shame?
Yeah, it's a shame, and I think it's affecting Uganda because investors will fade out.
Moving on to the transport sector, Uganda Airlines launches Lagos trip. This is such a big achievement for Uganda.
Yes, and it's going to boost our economy and strengthen our friendship with Nigeria.
I also encourage parents to buy a copy for their children, preparing for the forthcoming Senior 6 examinations, as there are a variety of papers, for example, economics. Good luck to all the candidates, by the way.
And we wish you success. Munaffe Uganda, inakaachawo mu bukedde.
Era nga mu bukedde ntandise mu bukedde yetuwadde omutwe nga guli ag'ebunaayira ng'egamba nti amaanyi ga Iran gatiisizza Biden. awadde Isirairi obumbi bwa $100 yenyweze. Bwe byonna byonna ojja bisanga ku muko ogwokubiri mu bukedde olunaku olwaleero. Mu kweyongerayo n'agamba mu ggwanga olutalo lwa sipiika ne bannabannu lugaziye era nga wano wansi beeyongedde ne batugamba nti olutalo wakati w'omumyuka wa sipiika Thomas Tayebwa n'ababaka ba NUP lweyongedde okugaziwa ngeri ababaka gye balina okweyisaamu nga bali mu parliament. Bino byonna n'ebisingawo ogenda bisanga ku muko ogwokutaano. We tweyongerayo mu bannaffe ab'emizannyo ababinyumirwa ennyo yadde nange ebinyumirwa tugenda abo batugambye nti mu kadinisa abanene bakomyewo mu lutabaalo lwa Premier League. Bino byonna ku miko 16 munda. Weegulire bukedde w'olunaku olwaleero ku nnusu 10 zokka.
For more information, you can get newspapers from your nearest vendor.
Thank you.
The press review was brought to you by Nalo, Manyeteka.
Mark Radio, your coolest internet station.
So welcome back to the Campus Pulse show, and together we are diving into the hot topic of the day, as we're going to look at something very special that we all have been hearing about, all the information that we've been having into the country, not only the country that has often attracted the attention from the outside world. So, Sabi,
Yeah.
you ready for this?
I'm ready.
If you're ready for this?
Of course.
All right, so there has been a question of the topic that has been moving that most of the parliamentarians and other people in the country that have come to reject. However, we still bring it to the question, the Campus Pulse show. If you want to engage into the question, go on our different social media platforms. That is X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and you can all get us live. It's the Mark Radio. So here we go with the question. It's like, they have been wanting to pass a bill that they should provide contraceptives to 15-year-old girls. How do you feel like this? Is it okay for the 15-year-old girls to get the contraceptives or not? Still, you can hit us on the studio lines to engage in this conversation. I want to start with you, Evie. Have you ever used contraceptives? There's an African proverb that says there's no virgin in a maternity ward. So I don't think so. You like, yeah?
Ebintu ebyo okuviira ddala eri nga tukyali bato tebaabituyigiriza naddala fe abaana abakulira mu maka amaganda amaka ag'abantu abaganda tebyalimu ebyo ebintu mpozi banene abaana ab'enajjeera basamilaavu bano bayiza okuba ebintu ebyo babimanyi naye nze okusinziira kumanya kwange
Sammy, what's your take on the 15-year-old girls to use contraceptives?
My take, it is, I will start off with this quote that I believe in, is that it's better to be safe than sorry. I mean, we have tried always, we have done the sex education, and still we're having problems like teenage pregnancy. And the thing that makes me sad is that it's the girls that drop out of school and not the boys. So, yeah, contraceptives.
So it's okay for the 15-year-old. Don't we think like this year is still too young for these girls to be introduced to this place? Because I've been seeing like negative effects of the so-called, like these contraceptives called the birth control pills. Why wouldn't we? I have an idea. I want to ask you the two in the studio. Like, how about we provide this way of keeping the 15-year-old girls more safer than using these contraceptives? Do you think it's better that way? Or you think using contraceptives is a better way than educating them on how to be safer, not even getting exposed to these contraceptives? In my own view, I can say like during the lockdown, very many girls were pregnant, most of them dropped out of school, but we can attribute this to the situation that we were in back then, because these girls and boys were at home almost like have more or less to do, no more work. You know, like they say, like an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons that these girls got pregnant and like. But I feel like the 15-year-old girl shouldn't be introduced contraceptives to including the negative side effects of these pills that bring to even older people. How about a 15-year-old girl?
Yes, Lemon, and you're right. You're right. I don't agree with Sammy Love. We agree on almost everything, but not today. Not today, honey. I'm sorry. Yes. So, Lemon, what you just said, during COVID, there were 2 years almost, and kids were home. They didn't do anything. They were not doing anything. So, okay,
having the heated debate in the studios, we would also got to have someone outside talking about the people, see how we can deal with this. Maddie, are you there?
Yes, Lemon. Thank you, Lemon. Good morning, listeners. This is Madeline Tisule reporting live from Makerere University, where we'll be interviewing a few students to get their opinions about the hot topic of the day. Should 15-year-olds be given contraceptives? Here we have a young man. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is Moses.
Moses, what do you think about 15-year-olds being given contraceptives?
I agree with the policy, and I believe at the age of 15, these people are active sexually. And I think they are taking, they get information on social media. Therefore, one of the days of African tradition, these guys shouldn't be given these things because it will take them from pregnancy.
Okay, thank you, Moses. And here we have a young lady. Madam, what's your name? Okay, please tell me, what do you think about 15-year-olds being given contraceptives?
I don't suppose it at all, simply because it promotes sexual activity in the 15-year-olds with equivalent.
Okay, thank you very much. Those have been the opinions of a few students at Makerere University.
Thank you very much, Madeline. Back in the studios, we have had the people outside. So now the Campus Pulse, the show still continues, and also the topic of the day still continues on our various media social platforms at the Campus Pulse show. And right now, we shall be diving into the Uganda news on the Campus Pulse. But if you want to still keep it on. Are you ready with us?
Bulungi naye ku nsonga eyo ensonga ya contraceptives ndowooza ababaka ba parliament bajja kwongera ogitaanyaako.
Mark Radio, your coolest internet station.
Buli watutuuka mu kitundu kyo tukugirayo ebyo by'osaanidde okumanya ne tubikuleetera mu ddiro lyo. Amawulire ku Mark Radio.
Butereevu 16 z'eddakiika ezikongose ku ssaawa 6 ez'olunaku olwaleero osiibye otya omulungi eyeekumidde ku Mark Radio. Nze Janati Nakitende ngobye bumala okutuusaako amawulire ag'obudde buno. Gano nga tandise n'abakugu mu kujjanjaba amaaso abalabudde ku kizibu ky'amaaso ekyeyongedde mu ggwanga naddala mu baana abato abazaaliddwa nga tebatuuse. Abasawo b'amaaso mu lusiisira olw'obulamu olukoleddwa ku ssematendekero w'e Makerere balabudde nti buli luvannyuma lwa myezi 6 abazadde basaanye okukebeza abaana baabwe amaaso okumanya embeera yaago. Okunoonyereza kw'abakugu bano kulaga nti abaana mu Uganda abakunukkiriza mu kitundu kimu ku buli 100 be balina obuzibu ku maaso gaabwe era nga kino kivudde ku bulagajjavu olw'obutagakebeza. Dr. Kato Enoch akuliddemu abasawo mu maaso mu lusiisira luno agambye nti bannayuganda bangi tebamanyi kyakukola nga bafunye obuzibu ku maaso gaabwe ate nga abalala bagenda otuuka mu ddwaliro ng'embeera yamaze dda okusajjuka. Bano kyokka basanyukidde etteeka eryayisiddwa mu Parliament erikkiriza okusimbuliza ebitundu by'omubiri nti ligenda kuyamba nnyo mu kujjanjaba amaaso naddala mu kugalongoosa. Ye Dr. Alina Marion nga ye mukugu mu kujjanjaba amaaso mu ddwaliro e Makerere agambye nti abantu abakolera mu yafeesi ku kompyuta batawaanyizibwa nnyo amaaso. Wano wasinzidde n'alabula abazadde okufaayo ku kitangaala abaana baabwe kye bakozesa ku TV, amasimu n'ebirala kubanga luno lumbolegerwa ennyini.
Waliwo embeera z'amaaso oba waliwo endwadde ezikwata amaaso nga tusobola oziziyiza mu bakulu n'abato. Okugema kusinga okukola ki? Kusinga okuwonya. Tubakubiriza nti ffe tuli ready mu mbeera yonna. Abasawo we bali n'ebikola byonna bikola ki? Ebikola byonna weebiri mujje tubakole ki? Tubalaba amaaso.
Eyo nga tuvuddeyo yo mu district ya Bukomansimbi ekolebwa ebyalo 244 kyokka ng'ebitundu 64 ku 100 byokka birina amazzi amayonjo. Abatuuze abawangalira mu Bukomansimbi be basinga okukosebwa ebbula ly'amazzi era nga bakozesa agabidiba kyokka nga bagalwanira na bisolo. mu bufo obwo omubaka akiikirira Bukomansimbi North mu Parliament Dr. Christine Nandagire akulidde mu Rotary Club y'Ebbunga okusembereza abatuuze amazzi kyagamba nti kino kyakubeerawo era kireeta obuweerero eri abantu be.
Ekidomola ky'amazzi kiri ku siringi 10 ate abapiki be bagaleeta kakati tiwali abantu b'ekyalo kizibu nnyo okusanga omuntu alina siringi 10 lwanaagulanga amazzi bw'aba asobodde okufuna 10 tayinza kulufuna buli lunaku.
Bagala kukakasa abantu.
Yamyuka omubaka wa President mu Bukomansimbi Fred Kalema alabudde abantu bonna obuteetantala kubba byuma bya nayikondo kubanga bino bijja bazaalira akabasa. Eyo ebyongo bitadde ku bbali Minisita avunaanyizibwa ku nsonga z'abavubuka n'abaana Sarah Mateke yeebaziza gavumenti olw'okuvaayo n'eyamba abaana abawala okusomera nga kati omuwendo gwabwe mu masomero gweyongedde nnyo okukira bwe gwali emyaka egiyise.
Tulabyeko ku kintu ku right ey'okusomesa abaana gavumenti etaddeko opportunity abaana okugenda mu masomero mu UPE and USE so tulabye percentages bwe zeeyongedde nanyo okulaba abaana b'abawala beeyongedde nnyo mu masomero in fact n'okusinga abalenzi.
Wabula Minisita mwennyamivu ku ngeri ebyobuwangwa n'ennono gye bidibyamu omwana omuwala nga bimukwebeza kuwa obulenzi. Ayongedde n'ategeeza nti abaana abawala n'abalenzi benkanankana era tewali nsonga lwaki baboolebwa mu buvunaanyizibwa obw'enjawulo. Minisita asiimye enkola ye yateekebwawo omukulembeze w'eggwanga Pulezidenti Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ey'ebyemikono. Kino kisobozesezza abaana abawala n'abataasoma okubaako kye beekolera obutabeera bangalo bunani. Ate mu lugero lwaffe olunaku olwaleero lugamba nti omuko omwavu akanya magulu. Luno lutegeeza nti omuntu omwavu gy'awasa omukazi atera nnyo okugendayo okubayamba ku mirimu egy'enjawulo kubanga y'engeri yokka gy'ayinza okulagamu omugaso gwe. Songa y'omugagga aweereza buweereza birabo ne bamanya nti omutabani atuuse. Kino nno kituyigiriza okubeera abakozi tukole nnyo tusobole okuweebwa ekitiibwa. Mu mawulire gaffe ag'ebunaayira busukka Uganda, Nigeria efulumizza embalirira y'omwaka ogw'ebyensimbi eya 2024 nga ya busa 26 obwa naira ate nga bwe buwumbi 34 obwa dola ya Amerika. Okusinziira ku minisita w'ebyembalirira Atiku Bagudu, ebyenfuna by'eggwanga bisuubirwa okulinnya mu mwaka gw'ebyembalirira ogujja ku bitundu 4 ku buli 100. Okusasula amabanja kuweereddwa obuse 8 obwa naira era nga kwe kusinza okuteekebwako essira mu mbalirira eno. Awo nno mwattu siyinza kusukkawo nkwebaza nnyo ge mawulire mbadde Janet Nakitende program Campus Pulse kekwongereyo.
Buli watutuuka mu kitundu kyo tukugirayo ebyo by'osaanidde okumanya ne tubikuleetera mu ddiro lyo. Amawulire ku Makerere.
Ddala ebyo ebigonjoola ensonga awo wennyini wootuukira woobeera woowangaalira.
It's our big up to solutions to make this happen.
We are also proudly sponsored by our friends, the Bank Media Initiative. Don't forget. Yeah, thank you so much.
So before we wrap up this show, I want to go back to the question of the day. Should the 15-year-old girls get access to the contraceptives? I will be running to a little bit on our social media platforms, see how the people are doing. This is called Emma at X. He said like 15-year-old girls are sexually active and therefore they could easily be pregnant or maybe drop out of schools if they are not taken care of. That means what's really your take? How are you concluding this? Like, give them your own take as we're concluding this in the show.
I stand by what I said from the very beginning. It's best to be safe than sorry because these girls will get pregnant drop out of school and your future is dead there and then. So it's best you give them these contraceptives, you give them the sexual education, and pray to God.
Pretty iffy, what you say? What's your take?
Like I said in the beginning, I mean, in the past, these things were not there. And people survived. Pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, they survived. So I think these girls can also do the same.
Okay, we can all say like the polls show that you girls out there, the boys, take care of your health. Make sure to abstain, the biggest thing, because you're 16, yeah? You're 15. You should be abstaining out of sex for your better lives.
Of course.
So, wrapping up this show is the Campus Pulse, and the name of the radio station is the... There we are.
The Campus Pulse.
Give it up for the highest class of civilization. Call them the goddesses of the Campus Pulse. So about right now, we're delving into the news in English, and the Pretty Melissa is already in the studios to give you what has been happening in the nation and all outside the countries.
Mark Radio, your coolest internet station.
Michael, please wait. You can't touch me if we don't have a condom.
Mary, you don't know the things. Did you let you virgin?
Of course I am, Michael.
Mary, virgins don't catch AIDS.
Are you sure?
Don't you trust me?
Of course I trust you. But let me ask the debunk bot first.
What's that?
You don't know it? Which world do you live in?
The Debunk Bot is a product of Debunk Media Initiative, a fact-checking organization. All you have to do is add the Debunk Bot WhatsApp number 0771-222-159. Send in any misinformation, claim or query.
Mark News with Melissa Ampumuza.
100 dairy breeding bulls have been distributed by NAGIC under the Ministry of Agriculture to different farmers across the country. The ministry says that this aims at improving the production and productivity of animals in the various communities. State Minister for Animal Husbandry, Bright Ramirama, says the ministry is dedicated to improving animal breeds across the country and maximizing profits. Uganda Airlines route to Lagos, Nigeria has been launched and is expected to promote trade between the two countries. The flight is scheduled to take off 3 times a week and will only take a duration of 4 hours, solving the long transport challenge for many goods. This comes in several weeks after the airline launched the Mumbai, India route, boosting trade between Uganda and the Asian world. The Media Challenge Initiative today hosts the 13th edition of the Inter-University Radio Challenge at their hub in Kabalagala. The competition brings together 11 students and universities across the country to showcase their talents and also as an opportunity to make progress in their career growth. This year's theme is public service delivery. Our live reporter, Rita Calendera, has more.
Many thanks, Melissa. I'm live at the MCI Media Hub in Kabalagala, and today is the knockout stage for the Inter-University Radio competition. And they are 11 universities that are taking part in the competition, but the best 6 universities will be chosen to go for the next stage, and that will be the grand finale on 17th November. Just to give you a small recap, yesterday was the briefing of the students and the competitors about a few things they will have to focus on that judges will award us looking on. With me, I have one of the competitors, and he's going to share us his experience. Good afternoon. What's your name and from which university?
Good afternoon. My name is Baron Ochola from YMCA.
Baron, what are you going to do for today's competition?
In today's competition, I am going to be a part of an interview as well as delivering a mini feature during our segment.
Another question is, what university do you think is going to win this competition?
In my thinking, my university, because that's the one I am here for, and we plan to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a student from YMCA, and you can hear that the competition is really stiff. Let's wish them the best. Calendar Rita, Mark Radio, back to you in studio.
Thank you, Rita. Now, teenage pregnancy is one of the biggest problems in Uganda today. And according to the 2021 UNICEF report, Uganda has the biggest number of girls that become mothers by the age of 18. It is said that 1 out of 4 girls become mothers by 18. Deborah Mirembe gives us the details in a special report. Thank you. I remain Melissa Ampomoza with the English News Bulletin.
Mark News with Melissa Ampomoza.
Mark Radio, your coolest internet station.
You're listening to AMCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. AMCI Radio for African voices.
The hits just keep on coming.
Steph London Bunny remix. Years of fresh hits, fresh talent, and connecting all universities.
All right, a round of applause for Makerere University, ladies and gentlemen. All right, as Makerere University team makes their way to the stage, I want to ask Central Lens University to also make their way to the studio. We do appreciate our online audience. Keep engaging with us. We are using the official hashtag, which is IMC Mobile Newsroom. Makerere University, make it to the stage, and then we get to hear from the judges. After Central Lens University, we shall be having Uganda Christian University, Mukono. Kindly prepare. And for all the universities that will be taking or making their way to the studio, I ask that we use the other side. So as the people are coming from the studio, use this side so that we are well captured. Thank you so much. Over to you, the judges.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? You're feeling good? The nerves have settled down? I think you did very good. I know being in studio can be nerve-wracking. Every time before I go for my show, I feel nervous. The first links, I'm nervous, and yet I've prepared. I know what I'm going to say, but it's good to feel nervous, because if you don't feel nervous, then it will affect your delivery. And that's what the head of broadcast told me at Energy Radio. He's been in radio for like 35 years. And he told me, Sandy, if you're going to go in studio and you're not feeling nervous, then there is a problem. That's why I left radio, because I got to a point that I never used to feel nervous. So I'll just go in and I'll just be too relaxed. And I thought, you know what? I think it's time for me now to step back and mentor other people. So being nervous is actually a good thing. It keeps you on your toes and you can deliver. How do you think they did, guys? They did great, right? I'd first like, what's your name? Joseph, eh? Joseph, you did so well. I could tell you are the lead host and you have vibe. You know, when you listen to radio, if once you're on that mic, what I'd started doing in the beginning is, fine, we are audio visual, but I would tell my producer to switch off the camera so that people can't see me. And then I would deliver while closing my eyes. Then when you listen to your voice, it kind of puts things in perspective. You get it? And you did that so well. You did it so well. Like, if I was listening to you, like, in the car, I'd be like, hey, what is this guy saying? This guy has vibe. What is he going to say next? You get it? So that's very important because you have to resonate with your audience, and radio is all about mood, and it's the theater of the mind. So you have to keep that in mind when you're on that mic. Don't focus so much on what you're going to say, thinking of what's coming next. Your audience can tell the disconnect. So just keep on giving them that vibe. That's really, really nice. I loved that. I also love that you have chemistry. You had chemistry, like the way you introduced the show and everything. Chemistry is very important when you're in studio, eh? And you guys had chemistry. Like if the program was beginning and you were listening, you'd be like, hey, okay, what are these guys saying? Okay, I want to hear more of what they are saying. So that's very important as well. And also the Luganda news anchor, the English news anchor. Also the news reporter. Who was the news reporter? The one who was reporting that it was you? You did so well. You did so well. You gave context immediately as they came to you. You gave context. You gave an introduction of like what you were going to talk about. You were very articulate, and you also gave the information of what you were talking about. It's very important in radio, especially because you have very little time between the links. You get it? So you want to keep an idea to each link and go in when you have like done all the who, what, when, where, how. Very succinct, precise and concise. And you were that. That was very, very good to all the anchors. It was very impressive. And also the use of sign language, the Lugandan news anchor. When you'd finish, you'd do this so they can play like you were doing that, right? That is very important in studio. Very, very important. And you did it effortlessly. You were very composed. You were cool, calm, collected. You knew what you were saying. And somebody would want to listen to your news. Like you kept me hooked. Though I couldn't understand everything that you were saying, not understanding Luganda completely. But I was very impressed. Like your demeanor and everything was very impressive. Like I said, sign language in studio is very, very important. If something is not working, you just let the person know while you're continuing to do what you're doing. Don't flinch, because things happen. And also the audience understands that things happen. You know, when you're in studio, like, oh my gosh, no, this is not working. What are they thinking? No, these things happen. They happen, and your audience also understands. So when something happens, just say like, you know what, I think we're having an issue with that, or if you're going to the news feature or anything, I think it's taking a bit of a while, but let's get on to this. You just keep them in the loop. Just treat your audience like they are with you in the room. It's like saying, let me show you this video. It's not loading. I think it's the internet. Now, as I was saying, you get it? That's your audience. Treat them like that. Don't treat them as something so obscure out there that they don't understand. No, they are just people like you and I, and just keep them in the loop. That being said, as you began, the mic was off for one of you. As you began, yes. The mic was off. So it's very, very important that once you go into studio, you have a prep. I know now it's like different universities going in and it's a competition, but what usually happens at a radio show is you do the show prep and you go in an hour before your show. Now, before you begin your show, you make sure all the mics are on. That's very, very important, especially for your very fast link. And this has happened to me on radio. Your very fast link sets the pace for your whole, your whole program. Someone can get frustrated and be like, what are these guys saying? It has begun. Radio is someone can easily move to the next channel if you lose them there. So the fast link is very, very important. That you have to make sure everything, is working. Can you hear me? And that's why it's very important. One of you was not wearing your headsets. I know you didn't have headsets, but your co-host was not wearing headsets. It's very important because through the headsets, you can hear yourself. When you're speaking and your mic is off, you won't be able to hear yourself. So you just look on the desk and you switch it on. Your producer is always there, but you have to know these things to be able to handle them as they come along. And they will happen. And when they do happen, do not panic. Now, if it happens like that, if her mic is off and you notice it's off, talk over her because she can't talk. And you just tell her, like, and you continue talking. Just make up a story, just to take a little bit of a detour so that they can put her mic on and then she comes on. It's all about teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. So just know that. Just don't think, oh my gosh, her mic is off, and then no. Just keep the flow and everything else. And then the voice is very important in radio. Your voice should not be too high-pitched, because if it's too high-pitched, sometimes it rubs people the wrong way who are listening. Like, hey, that Kachik who's always shouting. That Kachik who's always shouting on radio. So always keep don't speak from your throat, speak from here, like under your diaphragm. So I can be talking to, hey, you guy, you're doing this. So I can say, oh my goodness, why are you doing that? You know, the difference in the intonation. And this helps with posture. When you're sitting in studio, when I'm doing my show, I don't sit. I stand for the whole show. Because I realize when I sit, I get too comfortable and I'm a bit slow. But if you're sitting, sit at the edge of the seat like this, so that your back is up straight, and then you can, it's all about, your windpipe and the voice intonation. It comes from here. So if you are slouching like this, the delivery won't be as good. So always sit, like, if you're sitting at the edge of the seat, up straight, and make sure you are using, because it's all about the lungs and the intonation and everything. So that's very important, because some audience can be like, that chick, her voice disturbs me. I can't listen to her. So that's very important. I know sometimes you can forget. I also forget and start shouting sometimes on my show, and my producer will be like, I'm like, oh, okay. So I switch. So it takes some time to learn, but you'll get the drift of it. It takes practice. So with time, you'll get that. And the news review, make, like you said, oh yeah, this and this happened. Oh, rest in peace. And then you moved on. This sounds so cold to someone listening. Remember the people's families are listening. The person, like, they're very close friends and they have lost someone. So if you're doing a news review, like of a newspaper or anything else, make sure you read the story and you make it your own. Don't read word for word, like what Pfizer said. That is something so sensitive. If somebody has lost someone and then they're like, but those presenters, they are here, rest in peace, and then they moved on to something else. People can get easily offended when they're listening. Remember that everybody has their own filter in the way they decipher information when you give. You can say one thing and 5 people decode it differently. So some people could get offended. So with such stories, make sure you evoke emotion. They're emotive, something like that. In anything that, like you're reading the reviews or anything. And also diction. Diction is very important. The way you use language and pronunciation. Like, sometimes if you pronounce a name wrong or a word wrong, a person listening can switch off and be like, these guys don't know what they are talking about. What's that now? They'll switch to another station because it robs you of your credibility. They'll be like, this person, is this person a journalist? What are they doing? People are like that. They are so judgmental. That's how they are. So you have to come correct if you're pronouncing names, if you are pronouncing words like fraud. It's not fraud, it's fraud. So be very careful with such words. If you're going to talk about fraud that's happening in the government and you're saying fraud, they'll be like, ha. They won't want to listen to anything else that you're going to say after that. Like, but this one, they cannot even pronounce that word. What is she going to tell us about the state of this situation in government and money laundering or anything else? So you have to be very careful with that because it gives you more credibility. And like Pfizer said, your target audience, you have to stick to one language. So we had news in Luganda and then we had news in English. Now, we understand that you had prepared for this and this was in your game plan. But in radio, even TV, you change. If something happens, you change. What should have happened as you went into the studio? You should have pulled that Lugandan news. You should have removed it. That's what you should have done. And you could have got probably more stories. If it's after the news, you give something entertainment to add to that time. But you should have pulled that Luganda news. Don't go, you have to keep in mind when you're in studio is that things keep on changing. Because you could have planned for an interview. I've planned that I'm going to interview Wanjiku. Then they tell me, Wanjiku is not coming. Kati, we are bringing Pfizer. She's coming in the next 5 minutes. You can't flinch. You just have to go with the flow and be like, okay, Pfizer, just tell someone, find out what Pfizer does, the introduction and everything, your team, that's where the team comes in. They can take screenshots and send them to you on your phone, and you can be reading on the phone, you know, introducing her and everything, and questions to ask her. They can be sending you questions on WhatsApp, and they are conversational. As she's saying this, you're looking at the next question, but you're also listening so that the questions don't seem like questions, like Q&A, no. Avoid that in interviews. They should be very conversational, and the person who is speaking, remember, the show is not about you. It is about your delivery. It is about someone listening. So if you have someone in studio, make sure you give them the time to express themselves and to give what they want to say. But wrapping up, the radio interview, I didn't understand if there was a guest in studio, lead host. I didn't understand if there was the three of you when you're talking about contraception in studio, you didn't really introduce them, your co-hosts, and it wasn't quite clear where everybody stood. It's always like when you're show prepping, you can choose someone who will stand against it and someone who is for it, because then they can give their reasons and it's clearer to the person who is listening. Otherwise, if it's not that way, you have to put this in mind, like someone should say, why am I listening to this show? Kubanga, these guys can be talking in their house at home. Why are they here? Like, why am I listening to them? You have to leave the audience inspired, informed, educated in everything that you are delivering. It's just not jazz. Yes, it's jazz, but with that flair. Always remember that. But otherwise, you did so well. Remember that all this stuff is, you can work on it. It can seem so much in the beginning, but you get the drift of it. And always remember when you go into studio that even if you're doing a show, remember the who, what, where, when, how. It's very important, because then you are feeding the audience, and then you'll become unforgettable towards them. Like, I learned something from that show, and they always say this and that, so it sticks than just being all over the place. It takes practice, but you'll get the drift of it. You did so well.
Thank you so much.
Just before they get off the stage, Judge Sandra, may I say something? Okay, Judge Sandra has given me permission. Please give the mic to the lady in yellow. Yes. How are you? What's your name?
I'm good. I'm called Narada Abisagi.
Sorry?
Narada Abisagi.
How are you?
I'm well.
You're very beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you a very simple question, hopefully. And why I'm asking her is because I want the rest of the teams that are going next, or even the ones that proceed on to the next level, to learn this and incorporate it into their work. Do you know why government is tightening security at the border?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the incidents that happened of the ADF attacking tourists that were on their honeymoon of recent.
Fantastic. So you know your information, right? Yes. So when you're doing the press review, you're not reading headlines. This is not TV news. And even TV news is not done like that. So when you're doing a press review, you don't say, government has tightened security at the border. Yeah, this is Daily Monitor. Okay, moving on to the next story. That's not how it works. You go simply like, well, today in the Daily Monitor, government is tightening security at the border. Now, this comes shortly after a suspected ADF attack on tourists that unfortunately died in the incident, and also their guide died as well. Then you can share personal sentiment and say, it's really, really sad. I mean, these guys were just newlyweds. Can you imagine coming to Uganda for a honeymoon and you lose your life? Really, really sad. But government is doing everything it can. You can get the full story in your copy of the Daily Monitor. You move on to the next story. So you don't browse headlines. You do stories. You share your perspective on stories. So I hope the next team or the ones that proceed even onto the next level do that. Okay, thank you, Judge Sandra.
All right, thank you, Faiza and Sandra. I request Makerere team you move into the training room. Thank you. I believe that in studio Central University is ready, but before participants, I know a couple of pictures are being taken by our production team, so feel free to use the QR codes that will be displayed on the corners of the screen to download your pictures. I trust Central University is ready to take us away. Central University, are you there? Meanwhile, UCU, you should be preparing, like I said. You take the extreme right and then use this route to the studio. Thank you.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
Your number one online radio station.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
Your number one online radio station.
Gano ge mawulire mu bufunze ku Slow Radio, your number one online radio station.
Weewaawo tugguse buseke ku mayengo ga radio y'Enganzi, essaawa ziri 10 ez'olweggulo musiibye mutyanna abalungi abatuwuliriza. Eyeewaddeyo okuwuliriza Tuulo Kalire Bubya n'agatawulira Vumbo Gawawule ndyoke ndukuviire ku ntono ngeri yakalannamonga ettooke ekkulu n'omumizi. Sijja kudda mu byakweziringitanya ng'omunafu omulekera obuliri. Gano ge mawulire mu bufunze okuva wano ku Slow Radio okugakusomera nze Golola Kigozi Joseph. Wabaddewo okubagana empawa ku nkyukakyuka ezibadde zikoleddwa mu lukiiko lw'abaminisita b'abayizi ku ssettendekero lya St. Lawrence University. Omukulembeze w'abayizi Galiwango Twaha mwe yabadde asuulidde baminisita abamu ko n'okulonda akakiiko akakwasisa empisa. Abayizi aba siniya eyokuna abasoba mu mitwalo 36,400 okuva mu bifo emitwalo 29,221 okwetoloola eggwanga lyonna olwaleero bayingidde olunaku olwokutaano nga bakola ebigezo byabwe ebyakamalirizo. Ebyo nga biri bityo abayizi abasoba mu 100 abasoma amawulire n'ebyempuliziganya okuva ku ssettendekero ez'enjawulo bakuŋŋaanidde ku kitebe kya Media Challenge Initiative Kabalagala okwetaba mu mpaka z'ebyokuweereza ku mikutu gya laadiyo ezimanyiddwa ennyo nga Media Challenge Radio Contest. Olutalo Kasiggu lukyayinda ng'oluyiira wakati w'amawanga Isirayiri ne Palestine era nga lwongedde okunyiinyiitira oluvannyuma lwa nsaleesale okuggwako Isirayiri gwe yabadde ewadde abantu bonna okwamuka ekitundu ky'oluwannanda lw'e Gaza. Wakati ng'abantu 10,000 be baakalusuulamu akaba. Ago n'amalala goba olindira mu bujjuvu mawulire gaffe gye bujjako tova ku Slow Radio tukyakuweereza.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
Your number one online radio station.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
Your number one online radio station.
Tractor systems are offline.
Ladies and gents.
All right, here we go.
Hey, my people, who is ready for a ride? It is the
Vibes and Jumbo.
Stand up, hey up, stand up, hey up, stand up, hey up, stand up, hey
Entertainment session pan the system wanu katukucholonga wa mune jeno chonjo 256
Chris Jagal the lioness.
Got Jilly Williams heads of the table.
I'm the beautiful Maria Diana Tuakuba.
Muziki.
Alright, here we go.
Don't touch that.
Tell him you know did no girl around my baby.
That is a remix thing.
Fine, baby. But surely now for my yanti your single paga. I was an abi take a set away menya. Kumanga kwe mutunze kwe single paga. I will never chiku take us and then. So baby baba little and a baba little. Since you walk on your chiche so bring up a make me link up. I saw we link up. Kwaga on your waist sing your rage. The way some say. Now I'm a busy. I'm over no busy. Diggy, 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 da, da, da. Dig it up. Money could dance floor, come take it. Diggy, 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 da, da, da. Dig it up. Biggie, biggie, boy, come take it. Diggy, 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 da, da, da. Money could dance floor, come take it. Diggy, 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 da, da, da. Dig it up. Biggie, boy, come take it.
Toto wa bongo. Dada. Mkubwa sio mdogo. Dada singa mjango. Nada. Kole mukasako
Dada
Kawala nanga pepa na jinja Akasare kawala ninja Kwene wawa tokonda kumba Mugamba kamata machete kinja Oyisa mise, newemba bise Mboba ngopise
It's Vinka Wininwaje and the Karaka Sita on Chekecha, and this brings us to 5 minutes past the hour of for welcome to the show Vibes and Vibes Echombo on Slow Radio, where you get smarter every single day with me, the beautiful, the man.
Are representing from the session in the building. Yeah, alongside Cats Jilly Williams, aka Heads of the Table, the superstar Omubede.
Abeda bitch.
Heads on the Table is like a name Ngomanyu.
Into the weekend. I mean, today's Friday. It's just vibe moment, you know?
I know.
So I don't know what plans you're having for yourself this weekend.
Yeah, man. It's a reggae session at the bar right about around the corner.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we are going to the bar. Some of us take those, sodas. Yeah, we take sodas.
Nah, me not
Sodas
say no
in the
soda.
bar?
Yeah.
Nah. Why don't you just stay home, then take a bottle of soda and then...
Nah, me not say no soda. Just, I have to put a liquor. It's a natural thing, yeah? You know, even Jesus made it, yeah?
I'm so stressed. I don't even know what to do.
What's your problem, girl?
He has called me on a date. I don't even have a dress. I don't have shoes. Look at my hair. Look at my makeup. What do I do?
Girl, relax. You should try MK's Closet. They have the best shoes. Their dresses, the bags, the wigs. Girl, their makeup is on point.
Where do I even find them?
They're located in Kabawa, opposite Trinity Children's Center. You can even call them on 0704 89 26 30.
MK's Closet, they got you sorted.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
You're our online radio station.
Select Jeff, you got boys in the
Hotel.
Zanga de se wala Piana rempe tata de wempewa Hennessy Fanta nga wengula So jagala kupuminga
Waji
Just kulela visa excellent Kutekinga risky Wechigana na tekinga besti Champions anya moko chitandali Champions bye baby bedroom bully Kumpi alina mona matandali Molage kuwale tia kwa gauni Salari
and gentlemen, woo! It is back, it is here, it is happening. It's a Slow news writing, anchoring and reporting, essay writing, radio feature, photography, and the 1 minute of fame. We'll have great performances from your favorite artists, Fig for Maker.
The way she make me stomach mama.
Get your tickets at 20K, 30K silver, and your golden ticket at 50K.
Boom!
What? Let's go.
What is
trending?
Yeah, right about now, we are bringing you what is trending. In the Daily Monitor, new study puts alcohol abuse in children at 25%. And still in the Daily Monitor, they are showing you how Facebook love ended in epic tears.
Yes, here in the New Vision is talking about 2 head teachers that have been arrested for examination malpractice. Yeah, these teachers happened to share some papers to the students in the chemistry test, and yeah, man,
And what is happening in Bukede today?
In Bukede today, it was more of Iran. Yes, and there is some guy I think go by Itakawe Chibuye.
Yeah.
Is it Katre? I was thinking, what is he doing there? So Bam arresting the Balaga, there Nabia Lagula. So
I saw that guy yesterday. I was like, what's this guy doing here? I mean, he looks mad. I mean, he's mad. The way he dresses, I mean, and someone comes and kneels us for blessings from such a person.
But don't forget that those that are getting off work, that are going back home, especially in Tebe Road, there is a lot of jam right now because, I mean, it's a weekend.
People are going to Tebe.
Exactly.
To do what?
Chibala.
Yes, reminding you, if you want a gadget, Lux Gadget is an online shop that is going to give you all the big gadgets, new speakers, as a brand, and nene okoye headsets okubanga zikutuka. Sometimes you just gotta have a dial on them on 0759295238, and they get you covered.
And of course, they're at King Mortgage Studios. Their phones in now Kulabia, but they do all the photography and videography. If you want that nice pic, I mean to. Studios, and if you want to contact them, the number is 0706966767.
More of your favorite songs right now, right here.
Only on Slow Radio, your online radio.
The music never stops.
Eno esawa y'ebyemizannyo Nestle Junior mu programu Vibes on Vibes ekyombo.
You're a soldier, choosing your path.
Balamusako mwenaja mtusake engalo amanya nedobozi nze Slick Junior kutusaka maulege byemizannyo wano mu program Vibes on Vibes chombo. Get smart every day. Yeah, get smart every day. Ya nyongero kujuzako tike jaze store akutusaka emijozi ejabuli chike jabuli misono mwe abagizi bakapira inabuli mujozo gwa buli timu. Yes, tika gamba mkone kao ku 0706614885. Yeah. Nga sikulise yo tutandikideko mu Pepsi University Football League mpira mingi jizanyidwa era wiki ewedde mpira mingi jibadde yo ku bisaye byenjawulo twajja tulaba Nkumba University ng'ekwatagana ne International University of East Africa mpira ogwaggwera maliri ate Uganda Matters University nekwatagana ne abanaffe bali eri aba ya Kabale University mpira ogwaggwa golo 3 kubwerere ate Bugema ya Bakisubi University golo zali 5 kubwerere ate era St Lawrence University wali ku Crown Stadium ekavule nekwata banaffe abagulu University ne bakuba golo nya kubwerere abana abo bamutawana nnyo ne batopinga ku kibinja E anobubonero 9 golo 7 group standings group A weyimiridde kulembeddwa Uganda Matters University n'obubonero 9 golo 6 ate group B ne kulemberwa Islamic University in Uganda points 6 ne golo 2 ate group C ne kulemberwa Makerere University points 9 ne golo 2 ate Sako group D kulembeddwa Uganda Christian University points 9 ne golo 10 Yeah, ate group F lastly ekulembeddwa Kampala University points mukaga ne golo 3 sikulisa ne kujjako ne tudako mpaka AFCON ezigenda okutojera omwaka ogujja enaku z'omwezi nga 11 January paka 14 February obululu bwakwatibwa mu kibuga Abidjan mu Ivory Coast olwokuna ewedde era nga muno ba champion ba season ewedde Senegal akalulu kabasula mu group C ne Cameroon ate nga banaffe aba Nigeria ne bagwa mu kibinja kye kimu ne Ivory Coast mu group A songa ate gebweru agebyemizannyo atubadde mu international break tebaddeyo league ezenjawulo zaali zawumulamuko okuwaka katonotono Portugal Slovakia gwagwa 3-2 nga Portugal ekuba Italy ne Malta zaali nnya kuwere ate Netherlands nezanya France ate France yasobola wangula omupiira gwayo ogwo weekend tosubwa emipiira gikomawo ejenjawulo Chelsea versus Arsenal ku Stamford Bridge Liverpool Everton mu Merseyside derby Man City ezanya Brighton ate Tottenham mu London derby ne Fulham Manchester United esembeyo ne Sheffield United okyali muwuliza mulungi tova ku Slow FM sigadde nze Slick Junior akume.
More of your favorite songs right now, right here.
Only on Slow Radio, your online radio.
The music never stops.
Oi mama. Omukyala musayo, omukyala mulwadde muyi. Omukyala mulwadde.
Kikabya nawe. Leka nawe Sseruganda kaabo. Jupiter Medical Clinic togimanyi eri wane kulinanye ekyengera ku Equity Bank.
Jupiter Medical Clinic.
Liri wano kumanjiwo wano. Kyamina ku Equity Bank wano. Gika omukyala tumutwale nawe Sseruganda. Leka na.
Slow Radio.
You're now on the radio station.
Slow Radio.
You're now on the radio station.
Yeah, we many kakana, Nadala, Salama, and Nasara. I bet you go, baby. Ivokuwada mwekibala omukazi tafaika yamala kibala obulungi bwaderira bwajja Samusoni enviiri ku mutwe yafatalaba omukazi tawena era siwa kuwena ne bwoba big size osangayo ziwena zedde muyangamba kushuka ne hane tekuli kiwoma nga transport money natya agamba kyali kiwala sibi kikazi kumbe wadda ne ku boda tula kikazi gwewavumba ngedda tebawolayini kati bwabikula asimbya bawolayini Fear women, DJ Pulo, we first fear women. Fear women, Gamma drivers, very first fear women. Fear women, DJ Pulo, we first fear women. Fear that gender, never jabba, jabba, agenda. Balancing got your kilo chikumi kakondo nozi no kwebicha. Chimenya laws of gravity. Yasibaka musweta kusomero mbai nasi mubaya ona. Kaogala ita.
All right. You know, sometimes these songs have that heat in us, but I like this one of fear women. Fear women. Cats, you're supposed to fear these women.
Yeah, you have to fear us. Why wouldn't you fear us?
No, in this other perspective of fearing women, you know, Samson, yeah? Just because of Delilah's beauty.
Fear women.
DJ Pulo, you first fear women.
The biggest problem is the more we fear them, they grow wings.
Tuvuga Range Rover muri ku space. You have to fear us.
Who give them to you?
You know, you have to fear them.
Uh-huh.
You see where other guys are making hits at their bagenda wano akina this place in Lugogo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Azawi?
Hey, that's by the way, talking about Azawi is having a shot to that Serena.
Yeah.
And I mean, she should be feared. Because I mean, she's the only woman here in Uganda. I think she had to be an international lady. I don't know, maybe. I think she was born in there. And then
they should check her DNA, guys.
Yeah.
You're trending. They should check her DNA for sure.
I also have a diastema like her. I think she's my sister.
Your sister?
Yeah.
That means me too. The brother.
Yeah, because of the diastema. You're chasing away each other.
Entertainment.
All right. In fact, talking about DNA, and then people should be taking for DNA. Then as Okay. Yes, right about there. Let's talk about the topic of the day, and that is the DNA.
Yeah.
It is trending.
Men these days, everyone is like,
Making DNA, by the way, it is this serious.
Because
good enough we have gentlemen in the studio.
Yes.
Let me just ask you, Kecho. If at all now you call yourself a ghetto youth.
Yeah. Ghetto boy, you know.
Now, if at all it happens one morning and then they do a DNA and your dad is Sudale, what would you do?
You know, this thing comes in a good way, because now our time is talking about the man but the other time I know that the banana comes from
the boot.
Anyway, I don't know what you should say, but anyways, maybe personally I do not support DNA. I mean, in Buganda mostly here in Central. It's a woman to decide who the child belongs to. If I wake up one morning, I tell you, hey man, this child is yours. Why would you take the child for DNA? I mean, I'm still alive.
But DNA really existed from, the ancient regime, because they used to take rituals called kwalula. Kwalula.
You've reminded me.
I used to take
They take the kalida, the arm cord, and then they throw it in the lake. Maybe
water in the basket.
If it sinks, and then
those things,
On my side, I would support DNA. Just because of this. Now, if we go for the DNA, and then it turns out that I'm Azawi's brother.
Oh my God!
I think that
our listeners can't say
to following up Twitter handle at Slow Radio. Yeah, the conversation is going down.
Yeah, of course. Just in a few minutes, we're going to be reading the people's tweets and see what people have to say about DNA. Why men doing more DNA?
Yeah, man.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
You're our radio station.
Of course, what do we have on Twitter?
Yes, on Twitter. Yeah. Makerere says women are becoming more attractive and money is becoming more scarce. Men are using DNA as an excuse to evade responsibility.
By the way, she might be true.
This is not true thing, you know. Come on, guys.
I'm just wondering, why is it that women are more commenting on Twitter? Where are the men?
Because you people are...
Because what you're doing is not right.
Men come out and we fight for our rights.
Because I'm not going to take care of this baby up to Sawanga. Then daddy, this is my kid, you know. Yeah, so I go with her.
Then I'm getting one female who is on the men's side.
Yes.
He's saying that Chitufu Bakebere abachala tususiza nnyo.
Okay, let's also hear this out.
Buyingirizaamu nti dyeni oba tonesiga twabaana oba obeeganye they and then oba babo oba si babo oba obeeganye, and you have to give me reasons as to why weegaana omwana.
According to my opinion, DNA test is not that good due to the like whenever people goes for DNA, they'll come up with misunderstanding.
Wano wetwatuuka abasajja twabavaako bakola bye baagala.
Because you can say this is an Africa, and sometimes you cannot predict. The moment you test, maybe you go for DNA test, you find that maybe 75% they are not your children.
Jabakebeza abaana be tetubalinaako obuzibu. Nya omusajja akebeza omwana alaka aba teyeesiga maanyi.
Of course, that's what she has to say about that, and she's like, Hey, what do you have to say? Anyways,
Girls, I'm so stressed. I don't even know what to do.
What's your problem, girl?
He has called me on a date. I don't even have a dress. I don't have shoes. Look at my hair. Look at my makeup. What do I do?
Girl, relax. You should try MK's Closet. They have the best shoes. Their dresses, the bugs, the wigs. Girl, their makeup is on point.
Where do I even find them?
They're located in Kabawa, opposite Trinity Children's Center. You can even call them on 0704 89 26 30.
MK's Closet, they got you sorted.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio.
Slow Radio. Slow Radio.
You're now on the radio station.
The news.
The news.
This is the news on Slow Radio, your #1 online radio station.
Controversy in the students' government at St. Lawrence University. Queen Elizabeth National Park opened after a terrorist attack on that 7th of October. Over 5,000 people confirmed dead in the Israel-Palestine war. This is the news. I'm Kansinga Maria Alexandria. There has been change in the students' government of St. Lawrence University as the Guild President, His Excellency Galiwango Twahari, reshuffles his cabinet and replaces the disciplinary tribunal. The Dean of Students disapproves the changes and this causes a reappointment. Our reporter Golola Chigozi Joseph has more on this story.
There has been a change in the Guild cabinet at St. Lawrence University. According to the Guild President, His Excellency Galiwango Twahari, the reshuffle came as a consequence of some members of the Guild cabinet becoming more engaged with other personal duties and responsibility.
There could be a certain minister who was maybe was busy, totally engaged.
However, this brought about controversy when the Dean of Students instead disapproved the members of the disciplinary tribunal whom the Guild President had appointed.
We didn't follow the protocol. The protocol, you appoint, the Guild President appointed the tribunal members and then take them to the Dean for approval.
The Guild President came to a consensus with the Dean of Students that another tribunal should be appointed following the right procedure. Golola Chigozi Joseph, reporting for Slow.
The Inter-University Media Challenge competitions are back and over 10 universities are set to compete in the radio contest that is happening today at the Media Challenge Center Initiative Hub in Kabalagala. Our reporter Angelina Gama is there to give us a brief update on what is happening. Angela?
Thank you, Maria. Live at NCI Hub in Kabalagala, today is the inter-university competition which is taking place between the journalism students to showcase what they have and their talent. I'm going to talk to some few students to tell us what they have and how they feel about this experience. Hello.
Yes, hello.
What's your name?
I'm called YY John.
Which university?
I'm from Makerere Professional Development.
How is this platform helping students of journalism?
First of all, this platform has really helped us, and if you see, we came in and some of us were so frightened and get it. But after stepping in and presenting, and then judges came in and then they guided us on where we went wrong, and at least we have learned a lot from our mistakes. And trust me, next time when we come back, we won't be the same. I think we are going to be the best journalists outside there.
Thank you very much, YY. Back to studio, Maria.
Thank you, Angela. The war between the Palestine and the Israelites is intense, following the ultimatum Israel issued for all people to vacate Gaza City. Gaza Health Minister says that over 500 casualties are in hospital and 13 Palestinians have died in the Israel attacks since Hamas' October 7th attack inside Israel, which killed more than 1,400 people. In Focus today, we look into why many more men are doing DNA tests.
On June 13th, 2023, the Daily Monitor published a story highlighting the increasing number of men seeking DNA tests in Uganda, according to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The ministry reported a 70% increase in people seeking DNA tests at the government analytical laboratory. In its report on the upside of DNA tests in the country, the Uganda police further mentioned that common relationships for which DNA testing is utilized include paternity, maternity, full siblingship or half siblingship. Others are using this test to determine their vulnerability to certain genetic diseases such as cancer. Although DNA testing is provided for in the Ugandan constitution, it has raised significant concerns and unrest among families and communities. So, why are men seeking DNA tests in Uganda? Peter Gama, a resident of Rubaga, a suburb in Kampala, is one of the men who has undergone this experience. His voice trembles as he recalls the heart-wrenching ordeal that unfolded in his life, an ordeal that left his world shattered and his heart heavy with pain.
The implications were so many. I came to know that one of the child I was raising was not mine, and I got so disappointed in my wife, depressed to an extent of committing suicide.
Speaking with health expert Dr. Moses Muwesi at Dembe Hospital in Busega, he highlighted the challenges that come with someone choosing to take a DNA test. Dr. Muwesi emphasized that DNA tests can have psychological effects that may even lead to suicidal thoughts.
It can bring about separations, and then the other one can bring about psychological issues, whereby when you identify that one of the child does not belong to you, so it can even result into suicidal behaviors, whereby you think of killing yourself because the child is not yours, you separate with families. So.
That has been the news today. I'm Kansinga Maria Alexandria. Stay tuned.
More of your favorite songs right now, right here.
Only on Slow Radio, your online radio.
You're listening to AMCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. AMCI Radio for African voices.
A round of applause for this team coming on stage right about now. Let us welcome them. St. Lawrence University, a very energetic entrance right here. And of course, it is time for feedback from our dear judge, Judge Simon, I believe. Very briefly, maybe let us know what you thought about their performance, where can they improve, and what were their strengths?
St. Lawrence University, very well done. Let's clap for St. Lawrence University. Who was the team leader? Team leader, tell us, how was the process of putting together this show for you?
The process was really fun, and it made us one big family. It created unity, and we learned a lot from each other.
Where was the biggest disagreement as we are putting the show together?
The biggest disagreement was basically on that topic, because we all came up with different topics, and then the news to air, to choose the news that we're supposed to air, that also brought up a little bit of a disagreement.
Okay, let's clap for the team leader. I think she led the team really well. First things first, I liked the news anchor, Golola Chigozi Joseph. Please step forward. Where is Golola? Golola Chigozi Joseph, I think you have a very good broadcast voice. I really liked it. It's strong. I enjoyed the art that you applied towards the introduction of the news highlights. I also felt like you chose a language that you understand really well, and I think that you have a future in broadcast and news anchoring. I think you should work on the intonations. Your intonations were rather less news-like. They did not tend towards the ups and downs, which is the flavor that makes news very easy to understand for the audience. I understand news very much, and I want to encourage you to try as much as you can. It's a bit like waves, but in a more interactive way. So I want to encourage you to use the rhythm in speech, which is the intonation that brings out the flavor. Thank you very much. The presenters, please step forward. There is someone who called herself Maria Diana. Who is that one? Let's clap for Diana. If I'm not mistaken, you are the leader of this team. Were you the lead presenter? I felt like you were in charge. I felt like you were enjoying. I felt like you were very outstanding as the lead presenter. I felt like you had us from the beginning. So the hook is usually made in the first 10 seconds. And you did your job really well, creating a very good and lasting impression. And your co-presenters were also in sync, so you worked together. However, I want to recommend that you segment your links really well, and this applies to all the other presenters. Make sure that your link as a presenter has a purpose. So the purpose of the first link is usually to introduce the show, to let us know what is going to happen in the show. Give us some bit of rundown in the show. This goes first. At number 2, we'll have this. You don't have to list it in order, but let us know what we should look forward to, even at the top of the hour. If you listen to radio, that's what they do, at least. If you come in with some bit of, fun conversation, you want to throw some banter around, make sure, regardless of what you do, the first link serves the purpose, and then the preceding link. So I congratulate you. Please take that as a take home. Okay, the sports presenter. Oh, I love this guy's energy. Your name is Junior, is that correct? Yes, Junior, I loved the energy. There is nothing as attractive as someone that has a life and energy in presentation. I loved that you had good energy because it comes to the audience, and we do want to stay when we hear someone that has life and energy. I loved the diversity of the stories. You gave us a good number of local stories, and you also gave us some international stories. And you even told us what to look forward to or what to look for in the sports world, which is really good. So I loved this, the life and energy you applied. I wrote here, your energy is very attractive. I, however, had a little bit of mimicking, and I could be wrong. I observed that you're trying to be like one of the sports presenters that is already in the arena. Now, while it's a good thing to have a role model, it's also dangerous to stay in their shadow, because they'll always refer you to as the presenter that presents like the other. So try to make a name for yourself. So please note that. Who is the producer of the entire show? Producer, well done. And I am thanking you because I felt like there was a little bit of coordination. The content was well guided, and the topics were introduced with perspective. When you were talking about, for example, the DNA, I loved the way you introduced the topic, or the presenters introduced the topic from Azawi's story, and then giving some bit of perspective to the topic, and then also bringing it back in the mini feature. That is a good way of making sure that your content aligns. It's not very distant. And the producer, you did a good job selecting good music that is visual. Visual music is music that the public, all your target audience can sing along to. Now, it's always good and beautiful to give them something that they relate to. They can sing along. The good DJs are the ones that give you the hot bangers, but you can as well sing along. So I want to thank you for that. You did a very good job on that. The interaction you had about the DNA was also very good. I loved that you had a topic that you had very different perspectives about. And my highlight was the vox pop that you had in here. The vox pop, and you also invited the public to participate. Now, as you invite the public to participate, it shouldn't be only on phone calls or, social media. Make sure that you give them a chance to participate on WhatsApp and other platforms. That is something that you should always ensure. And when you are doing a vox pop, make sure that it is in a single language. The person that edited the vox pop did a good job, varying voices, a fair mix of female and male, which is really good. And they found some very catchy and interesting responses. One of them being abasajja twabavaako dda bakola bye baagala. And I mean, that stayed with me. And it didn't apply because if I am an English speaker, or if I am Sandra and my Luganda is very limited, you're confusing me. You're giving me English and Luganda. So try as much as you can to make sure that your vox pop is in a single language. And last but not least, Alexandria Kansinga, please step forward. Alexandria, you have a good voice quality for broadcast. I felt like your articulation of words and the intonation is also good. I also observed that your delivery was in part not good because of the pace at which you were delivering the message. A part of me felt like you were reading to us whatever was written, and yet news is supposed to be human. There's an element we call interaction. Interaction is me talking to you like I am having a conversation with you, and yet I'm reading from the script. So I want to encourage you to work on two elements. Number one, the pace and flair, and number two, the human interaction. It's not about what you do, how much you do. It's rather about how well you do the little that you do. Allow me to use 60 seconds to talk about the radio imaging. The person that did the radio imaging was good. Kindly add some, as you do the station ID, there should be a station catchphrase, not just saying Slough Radio. So what's your phrase? We need to know that. I had your show only mentioned once. It means you didn't have a show promo. And the person that said Vibes and Vibes was very memorable. That is, I think, Diana Mary. I think that's the lead presenter. You needed to mention or to use the promo to play the role of phonetics. You play them every now and then. They contribute to your ratings. They make the listener know where you are. They give you a lot of sales, positioning. So try as much as you can to let the people know the show, the station, and then the sweepers also need to be there. I observed that you had a lot more adverts than these phonetics. So try as much as you can to tell people the show name. By and large, I think you did very well. There's a lot of room for improvement. And all I can say is that I wish you the best. Judge Sandra wants to share some good knowledge with you for 30 seconds.
To the news anchor, Alexandria. Yes, like you said, your delivery was there was so much more that you could do. But a word of advice is always read your story and internalize it so you understand it, you know all the facts. Because sometimes you can even be given a script that has errors. So if you see it has errors, just put it aside and tell them the story, because radio is about storytelling. But apart from that, I see an excellent news anchor in you. You have grace, you have poise, and you have presence. And that is something that's innate. You exude that. So just work on that. And if you make a mistake or if you don't know what to say next, don't keep quiet and make it awkward. Just say, I beg your pardon, and just move on. Yes, but you got this. You are a star in the making. Yeah.
A round of applause for our judges today and for the team that is here. Let's give them a clap, people. Awesome. Team UCU is ready. Please make your way to the training room. Team UCU is ready in studio. And of course, Team Nkozi, be ready. Start preparing because you will be on next. And remember, if you are sharing photos, you're sharing videos of your teammates, the official hashtag to use is MCI Mobile Newsroom. That is hashtag MCI Mobile Newsroom. We're going to do this and then get more feedback. Okay, they are ready. Let us usher in Team UCU that is in studio right now.
You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Focus Radio. Get in the groove and stay.
Gano ge mawulire ku Focus Radio.
Muwanindiridde nga wannamataba era omuwulenge oluvuze mulinganju bagombagulizaako nti endagaane weewaawo otya nno mutaayi awuliriza Focus Radio zo eddakiika ziri 4 ezizaakayita ku ssaawa 7 gano ge mawulire mu bujjuvu ng'ogga kusomera nze Samuel Mwesigwa. Weetujjidde ku mpewo nga yunivasite z'Ebule n'Ebweya zikuŋŋaanidde ku kitebe ekikulu ekya MCI Kabalagala mu Kampala. Nga wano nno abayizi abasoma ebyamawulire we bagenda okwoleseza emitwe nga babbinkana mu mpaka mu ebyo bye basoma. Empaka zino zaategekebwa ekitongole kya Media Challenge Initiative mu kaweefube ow'okulaba ng'abayizi bongera okukuguka mu ebyo bye basoma wamu n'okubateekerateekera akatale k'ebyemirimu. Tuwogeddeko n'abamu ku abo abayizi abeetabye mu mpaka zino era wamma ne batutegeeza nti bazzegawanye era mu kintu mwebali.
Matovu ndi muyizi ku Uganda Christian University bampadde omukisa Media Initiative Challenge empadde omukisa okwetaba mu empaka ezigenda mu maaso eza inter-university eza Media Challenge. Ndi musanyufu nnyo okubeera wano.
Nze Valerie Mwahulwa tuli wano ku MCI era twetegekera empaka zino eza Intermedia Challenge era tusuubira nti nno tugenda kola bulungi.
Ng'ebyo tubitadde ku bbali yo gavumenti ya Uganda eri mu kaweefube watya weenayambako abaana ab'obuwala abafuna embuto ku myaka emito ddala. Kino nno kivudde ku alipoota ezivuddeyo nga ziraga nti abaana wakati w'emyaka 15 n'abiri bafuna embuto era ne bayita mu kusoomoozebwa olw'obutaba na babalungamya okosa n'obutaba na bikozesebwa mu malwaliro mu bitundu gye basibuka. Ng'ebya tekinologiya bikyegiriisa ng'ekigotta mu ntula omukutu guguno gukyase Uganda ne mu nsi endala nga gwatandikira mu ssemazinga wa Asia nga wetwogerera gubunyezi ssemazinga zonna 7. Omukutu guno gumanyiddwa ng'ogwa TikTok bangi bagwogerera bibala era bangi bali mu tuwandibaddewa singa sigwe. Mu mboozi yaffe ey'akafubo n'abamu ku abo abeekoledde erinnya ku mukutu guno abaddeko byatugambye era byafunye ng'ayita mu buzannyo bw'ateekayo.
Actually, TikTok enyambye nnyo. At first, just try tuzanya buzanyo manye ebintu kangezeseeko biki naye kati as things went on opportunities nezivaayo ofunayo okukubugigi omuntu agamba advertise biki ewe bikyo bibadde naye nga it's a really good app ate ndowooza omuntu abanga alina ekitona aveeyo ajoining naye alage ensi kyalinawo.
Ndowooza abavubuka ebyo mubiwulidde. Kale nno bwe tugendako mu geebweru olutalo wakati wa Isirayiri n'Abahamasi lukyayinda era nga tugenza okujja ku mpewo nga wakyaliwo obutambi obutambula ku ngeri y'amagye ga Isirayiri gye gaayabyamu eddwaliro lya Gaza eri Abahamasi era okukkakkana nga bangi bakaguliddemu obulamu nga n'abalala bapookya n'ebisago. Era kino kyawaliriza pulezidenti w'eggwanga lya America Joe Biden okutegeka olutuula balabe bwe bagonjoola ensonga eno kubanga kyabadde kimenya mateeka. Lino nno likomekereza amawulire gaffe ag'essaawa eno. Sigala ng'owuliriza Focus Radio, Misizo ne Josh bagenda kwongerayo mu Sunrise Pulse. Zuukuka nsigadde nze Samuel Mwesigwa, Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale.
You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Focus Radio. Get in the groove and stay. Hey, wake up. Wake up. Miss Sizzle and Josh are here to wake you up from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the Sunrise Pulse.
Select Jeff. You got boys in the
zanga tesewola byana bempita tadi wembiwa Hennessy fanta nga wengula so jagala kupokinga wine just ikunela biza MC kutekinga risky wechikana nga tekinga bestie champions anyamoko chitanga.
Setting the vibe in the studio with one of their hottest bangers of the year. Selector Jeff and Yoga Boys bringing in Salary. Good morning, Uganda. How you feeling? It's your girl, Miss Sizzle, sizzling all the conversations and bringing the hottest topics and bangers. Always with the main man of the hour, the voice of the money, Ladies Quencher.
Samantha, you've come with so much fire. You know how we do it every morning, Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 on Focus Radio, which of course you can download on our App Store and Google Play Store. You're listening into Sunrise. Pals, Zukuka. Let's go. Yeah, and I wonder if you're still in bed, I wonder what you're still doing, man.
Get
Boy,
up.
child, girl,
What are you
child.
waiting for?
Why are you still in bed? I mean, we do it every Friday. We thank God it's a Friday, and we're here to fire you up into the weekend and light your mood up a little bit. You know what's going on? Yeah. So, Sammy, what's going on today? How you doing?
Man, and I'm always ready for the weekend. It's time to party.
Yeah, I just love the song that dropped. That was Salary. Today is a salary day. You know what's going down?
The monies have to money. It's time for them to come in.
Yeah, and tomorrow is my birthday, man.
Josh.
So what's popping? Josh. Come on.
I will not go through this with you again. We
As
did
in?
this in January. We did this yesterday. You told the whole studio that your birthday is tomorrow. What is it that you want?
Exactly. I last announced it in January. Now the D-Day is here, man. I'm going to be eating some of your
you're admitting
monies.
that you have your birthday twice in a year.
No. I was just announcing it. It was like a premiere. You know how they do a movie premiere? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Miss Caesar, always sizzling and always bubbling. You look good this morning. I would really like to appreciate how you look. You know,
Feeding my ego is not going to work.
Back up a little bit. Do you know what they call hot fire? Do you know what they call cool fire? And hot ice.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you look like this morning. I don't know if it's the weather contributing to how you're looking like today, but I would like you to take us to the weather update of the day.
All right. In Kampala, we have temperature lows of 18 degrees Celsius, and later in the day, we'll be having highs of 26 degrees Celsius, with a chance of rain at around 1 p.m. And of course, in Mukono, it's a cloudy morning, with temperature lows of 18 degrees Celsius and 26 degrees Celsius of highs. Later in the day, with 80% chance of rain. So carry your umbrella.
Yeah, because sometimes Kampala can get to have unexpected swimming pools. You know how we do it, exactly. I want to send big shout outs to Pfizer, Simon, and Sandra for keeping it Focus Radio. Let me take you guys to the bulletin of today. This morning I was with my old man and I was buying him a paper, and I like how he, talks when he's reading his paper. After all, I'm a Muslim. Let me try. Listen. These people, these parliamentarians went to...
If the whole of people are going to understand the updates if you're reading it like that.
Can you take it easy? Anyway, let me get back into the newspaper. What do we have in today's headlines? We have Parliament to approve 15-year-olds taking contraceptives. That is the headline on page 1. When you open in the middle there, we're going to have some job opportunities for you people. We have Senior 3 Chemistry and English and Senior 6 Economics. In the sports, we have our very, very, very own UCU's Gaganga chooses studies over Uganda Premier League. More and more to find in Uganda's new vision. Feel free to get yourself a copy at only 2,000 shillings. Let's first get out of that for a little bit. Sammy, I got a question for you. So, if I asked you to make a collab with any musician this year, just give me one name.
You want a name from me?
Yeah, I just need this one person.
I'm thinking Cautions. There's this club vibe that he sets. I don't know how he does it, but he just knows how to do it.
Questions is actually old school.
What do you mean old school?
Does he have any new track this year?
Yeah. How do you know Questions released the song with Azawi?
Wait. You for real right now?
Where were you on Independence Day? You were there also marching with the people.
No, man. I was a delegate. I was attending Independence.
Azawi just dropped her latest album, Josh.
Let's go. That's amazing.
It is called Sankofa. It's an amazing album. Beautiful things happening in the album. And of course, one of her biggest songs is with Questions. She always pulls the talent. Now she does it.
You want to take us through it?
Before we go into those questions, Josh.
Okay.
We always have conversations that we like to keep the people engaged. So we have the big ask coming in.
Exactly.
And the question for today, according to the headlines, I had to talk about contraceptives.
Yeah.
So the question for today is, what do you think about 15-year-olds
being given
contraceptives? Yeah, and of course you can let us know what you think on our socials. Our social media handle is @Sunrise Pulse. That's for Instagram, X, or Threads, wherever makes you comfortable.
And also, if you want to send in your WhatsApp voice note, the number is 0789546745 or 075-222-4211. Now, we're going to jump into some quick music. Samantha has a song she wants to dedicate to me since it's my birthday.
This one is for Josh and for you out there that hasn't had the opportunity to listen to his amazing banger. Questions on Azawi, Summer Bay.
Yeah, Azawi.
Conscience is that you. Summer Bay. Summer Bay. Summer Bay. Summer Bay.
Hey, girl.
Summer Bay. If you do me nice, then I'ma be your Summer Bay. Summer Bay. Be a weed and wine to light you up just like a summer day.
Yeah. Baby, you make the right choice and you never think twice. Can make if you like spice, and that love that's so nice. You pull up on time for me, you did and twice. Life is a gamble, you're ready to go roll dice.
Honey, honey, it's for you, baby. Africa sugar is what I got you. Daddy, daddy, I only want you for me. Summer Bay.
Summer Bay.
Summer Bay. I'ma be your Summer Bay. Summer Bay.
In today's headlines. Uganda Christian University School of Journalism unveils first PhD program. Girls aged 15 and above allowed to access contraceptives. X on the spot for war transgressions.
Our hair is beautiful.
Our curls can be long.
Our hair can have volume.
Our black can be bold.
Main Partner is your personal online hair care friend, guiding your hair journey from beginning to end.
With our silky hair conditioner from Auntie Jackie.
And our custom detangling brushes that get your hair super fluffy.
With Main Partner, your hair is not just a crown.
It's earthborn.
Contact Main Partner today on 0706 341786 or send us a message on our social media pages.
Main Partner, grow your mane.
Traffic update, your guide around town.
Good morning, Josh and Miss Sizzle, and our dear listener of the Sunrise Pulse and Focus Radio. I'm reporting to you live from Mukono City Junction, and traffic here is quite very heavy because of an accident that happened at about 7 a.m. in the morning, where our trailer number UAB collided with a drone number USD, and the traffic police is doing its best to clear up the traffic. For the meantime, there are alternative routes to head to the capital city center of the country, Kampala. One can branch off from Bishop Tucker Road, that passes via Uganda Christian University, and reach to the destinations in Kampala. I am Constance Ituma Asere with a traffic update.
Welcome back from the show break. And it's just 15 minutes past the hour of 7, and you just listened in from the traffic updates. It seems like there's a lot of traffic around Kampala.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, the accident that happened. I hope the people are okay, though. Yeah.
So, before we went in for the short break, there's something you talked about. First of all, let me first take you back a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I be a summer babe? Okay, you be my summer babe. Where you put more on TV? What's that? On radio? Anyway, I have a kind of a story. When you mentioned how contraceptives are being given to 15-year-olds, it reminded me of a story. One of the days ago, I was coming with Jeff. Jeff, my judge guy, always bring me up. Always high with the dreadlocks. He's the Rasta man of the day. And, every time he brings me, he's hyping me up. Every time he sees me in the morning, I call him, Jeff, come and pick me up. He finds me, he's like, Rasta Mpako Vicente, Jango Mpako Vicente. You get, and then, he really encourages me now. Just a couple of days ago, I met him and he was really low. His vibe was a little bit low. And when I tried to have an engagement with him, I tried to talk to him while he was riding me. I asked him, man, Jeff, what's up? Did you seem a little bit low? He was like, bro, some guy just impregnated my 15-year-old. So I felt like my energy was being drained. I lost all the energy for a minute. I felt like a parent. Well, I'm not yet a parent, but...
I mean, anyone would try to feel what Jeff is feeling at this moment. 15 thing about me having a baby right now is I'm shaking. So I really don't know how Jeff is feeling in this moment. But I think you see where this conversation comes.
Yeah.
You should use contraceptives because very many people are using contraceptives right now.
Pardon.
Are you going to argue?
It is 17-year-olds we're talking about here. We're not talking about adults, 18 plus.
No. Okay, listen to me.
All right.
Have you not seen when people go and get emergency contraceptive pills? It's a contraceptive.
I didn't mention, but she's 2 months pregnant.
Yeah, but I'm saying they should, they already use that, so using contraceptives shouldn't be such a big deal.
So you actually agree with teenagers using contraceptives?
Yeah, something like that.
They're going to arrest you the minute you get out of studio. You're objecting what the Deputy Speaker of Parliament mentioned.
Anyway, we had a question that we asked you earlier, and the question of the day was, what do you think about 15-year-olds being given contraceptives? And of course, you sent in your comments. Thank you very much for that. So we have here Malcolm_256 on X. He says, this is absurd and needs to be put under careful consideration.
Whoa, Malcolm sounds like a parent for there.
And then we have Riri Buddy coming in, and Riri says, thank you for the show.
Is it our Riri? The one we know?
Let me read Riri's comment.
Go ahead.
Riri Buddy says, thank you for the show, and I think this will be a good idea to take on. This is my person. She knows what
So she's not siding with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, on WhatsApp, we received some few messages. I see Pauline saying these are issues that should be left to the elders. Well, Pauline, your request might come in a little bit handy. Well, you might have the opportunity to listen to some elders today. And also, Constance mentioned something like, yes, I agree. Teenagers should actually receive contraceptives.
See,
now,
I have my people. I'm not mad.
we are going to take this to the polls. And then we'll see who's winning this conversation. But I'm not having it with you on the radio.
Oh.
I'm serious, though. Anyway, away from that, Samantha, what surprise do you have for me for my birthday today?
Josh, let's leave these things alone. We have a show we're supposed to be running here. So,
it's a simple question.
Josh, as always, you know we like to keep the conversations going, so we also took it to the streets. Please listen in.
Choice. Though there has to be, of course, regulations, and the parents should also be on board for this because at the end of the day, you need their permission. It's a good one, but 15 is low. Let's do 16 at least.
Those substances are toxic, mostly to who? To the youth. Some of them, their bodies are still developing.
It should go on, like, for their safety.
They should be given to people who are of an advanced age.
But it's like the government wants to validate sex, wants to legalize sex to minors. These are 15-year-old girls. She can't be handling books and also sex.
They have to avoid unwanted pregnancies among children from age 15 and above.
It's downgrading our African culture where we all grew up knowing that we should abstain from sex until we...
Well, you know how they always say it, if you want to get the Ugandan's mind, take the question to the streets. Exactly.
Very interesting comments coming in. The person who said you should give it to 16-year-olds, that sounds logical, but you know.
What actually stood out for me was the girl who said that our African morals are actually dying out. Why are we trying to impose the Western kind of culture on our children? So,
very
like I said, I'm not having this conversation with you. We're going to take it to the what? To the polls.
Anyway, Josh, you asked me for your birthday present.
That's what's up. As
your darling friend whom you absolutely adore.
First, don't make me blush. ready.
I got you a reservation.
Okay, I'm listening. Which hotel are we going to? Is it Misteel? Is it Latitude O? Come on, name it.
I got you a reservation to the hottest discussion table.
What?
It's a be happy. Accept your gift.
What? No. Let's take that back a little bit behind. Did you read my to-do list?
Yeah, and those reservations. So I got you a reservation. Be happy with what you have.
We need to talk after the show.
Anyway, you know how we always do it here, bringing the hottest topics and discussions to bring you amazing answers, put your questions to rest. Here with us, we're going to have Josh and a bit of experts to get you going. You're very lucky. You're in luck, actually. You've been reserved a front row seat to the hottest discussion table.
I'm not having this discussion.
Is the reserved table.
I heard that one of them was living somewhere. I know he was living.
That is the law that stipulates what benefits the president is entitled.
Your table is ready. The reserved table.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it Focus Radio. We are always live every morning from Monday to Friday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And this is the hour, this is the time where we invite some experts to always talk to us about these issues that are affecting us as teenagers, as youth. On my left, I have a guest from Youth Hub. I will give her the liberty to introduce herself. And on my right, I have a gentleman. He's a doctor from Zambia Hospital. I will also let him introduce, but like gents, you know how we always do it. On my right, on my left, ladies come first.
Hosanna Mtebile is my name. I am a youth and I'm working with Youth Hub Uganda. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Hosanna. Gentleman, a doctor.
Yes, my name is Dismas Nwaine. I'm an expert gynecologist of over 20 years of experience and also a medical attaché at Zambia Hospital. I'm privileged to be here.
You're most welcome, Dismas. Now, the first question is actually going to come to you. You mentioned you're a gynecologist. And one of the questions we have on the round table today is, do you think it is right for teenagers to be given contraceptives? Okay, what are some of the medical repercussions of these actions?
Thank you for having me today. The quick answer is no. It is not right for us to give teenagers, people who are 15 years old and under or above, contraceptives. We can't give them that green light, neither can we give them that liberty, because we have to understand the essence of these contraceptives. They have long-standing physiological and psychological repercussions onto the bodies of these very people that are taking them.
Okay, thank you.
We must understand that the essence of drugs, when something is taken, then there's a certain effect that comes in. There's a compulsive and habitual sort of effect that comes in with taking something. Because the more you take something, the more your body gets used to something. Therefore, you grow what we medically term as drug dependence.
Okay. Let me first take the questions to the other side of the table. Hosanna, you have worked with youth for a period of time. Yes, I understand. And on the other end, doctor is not agreeing with the contraceptives being given to teenagers. What do you think about it?
As somebody, first of all, I'm a youth, and plus, I've worked with a youth. And to start with, this is an argument that has been brought up by a doctor, Dr. Charles Solaro. So I agree with him because you will meet incidents where a girl tells you they can't live without sex. Now we are looking at these disadvantaged girls, yeah? So I agree with the youth. And plus, we are in a different generation. Doctor's generation is completely different from the generation we are in today. So it's a go ahead for me.
So you actually agree that teenagers should be given contraceptives?
I do.
The doctor has just mentioned the medical repercussions of this kind of action and how much it will impact.
Can I put it straight? Can I just make it very clear?
Yes, doctor.
This is something that is so appalling that we shouldn't allow in our society. I believe we should treat it with the due disregard it actually deserves.
Okay.
Yes, please. We cannot allow our society to fall into an abyss. We are greater than this.
All right, doctor, I have one last question. Just in a few words, or just in like 5 seconds, I want you to sum up and just talk to the youth out there. What should they do from your level of expertise?
It is very simple. Let's abstain. That is the biggest question that has been faced to us as Africans, something we have done since the years of the old. So we shouldn't allow a foreign agenda to come and interrupt us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've heard it from the experts. We will be right back.
Listening to the hottest internet station.
Focus Radio. Get in the groove and stay.
Iwe mhara wanje, manyokuze. You must understand your identity. This year, a sweet young girl smells just like apples. What is wrong with that? It wasn't supposed to be this way.
It's okay. Calm down. How could he?
Can you handle that truth behind the perfect lie?
The Perfect Lie, coming to cinemas 30th October.
Timeless updates on Focus News.
Brought to you by
Main Partner provides you products and tips to supplement your hair growth journey at affordable prices.
Good morning to you all. You are listening to Focus Radio. I am Valerie Mwahulwa with the English news in detail. Uganda Christian University School of Journalism, Media and Communication launches a PhD program. The Dean of the school, Professor Monica Chibita, said the program was approved by the National Council for Higher Education, and they gave the school a go-ahead to admit students.
So we are hoping that all of this will consolidate research teams and increase research productivity, and so that we can, so that research can do what it is supposed to. Knowledge One sponsored 5 PhDs. We retained 3 of them. 2 left for another university.
Parliament rejects a bid from the Ministry of Health granting the usage of contraceptives among girls from the age of 15. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Thomas Tayewa, described this act as devilish and a channel of promoting child defilement. The 13th edition of the Inter-University Radio Contest 2023 by the Media Challenge Initiative is set to take place today. A total of 11 universities are set to compete to stay in the race. Our reporter Timothy Okrut is live at the MCI Hub.
Yes, good morning, Valerie, and of course, good morning to all listeners of Focus Radio. I'm coming to you live from level 4 of the Tripati Mazima Mall in Kabalagala, where the second stage of the 13th edition of the National Newsroom Contest is happening under the Media Challenge Initiative. And like you've rightly spelled, we have 11 universities. The start of the process had up to 14 universities, and a few got knocked off. But now we have 11 universities that are taking place in this phase. And we have up to more than 200 students from 11 of those different universities. And of course, earlier in the day, I was in the main auditorium, and the mood is quite jovial. But like we had from our weather report, we're expecting showers later on in the afternoon. The mood in the hub is likely to swing like the weather, because at the end of the day, the judges are going to have to come up with only 6 universities that will be proceeding to the next round on November 17th. But up to 3 universities have participated so far. We have 8 more universities to the close of business. And right now, Uganda Christian University is performing, and I'm joined by Kisate to give me a brief. Kisate Christine. Christine, good morning.
Good morning.
So what do you make of the performance of UC so far?
So far, so good. I have strong belief that we are victorious already.
Could you please tell us, let the viewers know your role, let the listeners know your role in this under the UCU team?
Under the UCU team, I've been helping with production as well as part of the editing and also some voicing for the jingles, yes.
Many thanks, Christine. Of course, I do wish you luck together with the rest of the team. And of course, Christine is positive that UC is going to make it through the next round. But of course, this is not a personality contest. It says the judges decide who make it through to the next round. Of course, our role here is to just bring to you the details of the events as they unfold. Back to you from the studio.
Thank you, Timothy. In our special report, Luba Pauling dives into the new curriculum and its reception from the learners and teachers. Take a listen.
Beginning to see graduates that are
Listening
actually...
to AMCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. AMCI Radio for African voices.
Meant to provoke deep thoughts that may bring the desperately needed solutions for our countries.
The new curriculum was
for Team UCU coming to the stage right about now. A wonderful team right here, brilliant performance. Some more energy, people in the house. Team UCU did an amazing job, and of course, our judges are going to be talking about that. I believe Judge Pfizer is going to have to give us feedback for this team. I will request you, Judge Pfizer, to be very brief. Before Judge Pfizer can give this amazing team some feedback, all the coordinators for all the universities should see Mr. Silas Muonge right there in a few, right after the feedback is given. I will be communicating after the feedback and giving you more detail.
Thank you so much. I'm going to keep my review brief, but I'm going to start it off like this. So last year, UCU came here, and I was judging as well. And UCU, did performed, yes, but below par. This time, I think you guys returned with a vengeance. Like, I was absolutely amazed at your work, at your show. If anything, I was like, let's continue. Like, this is the radio show you want to continue listening to. You don't want it to end. Okay? So, first of all, you guys did exceptionally well. Really, really well. I don't know if it is too soon to tell, but for me, this is probably one of the best performing teams so far. You did exceptionally well. I'll start with the positive. You had an amazing start having Luganda News anchoring to the start of the show. That was really creative. Nobody had done it here. And I could tell that you've been listening to our feedback for the other teams and you've been implementing, which of course requires that you work really, really fast, but you've been doing your work. So starting with Luganda was amazing. The Luganda News anchor did very, very well. Very calm, very confident, poised. You knew what you were saying. You didn't even stammer for once. I was like, yes. So this is great. I mean, even the production team had to zoom in on a certain also really, really good anchor just to scare him a bit and tell him you're seeing competition because you were that good. You're really, really, really good. All right? You also had great jingles. I think for me, again, this is the one team that has had really good, they sound almost professional, like the stuff you hear on professional radio. You just didn't have sweepers. I don't know what happened there, but your jingles were really, really, really good. You also had your basics. I love that this year, almost every team understands radio basics. They know that we have the name of the station, we have the name of our presenters, what show they're listening to, the time of the day. Those basics are very, very important. And I love the fact that none of you forgot your basics. You were doing really, really well in that area. You had a great choice of music, Summer Bay by Conscience Azawi, because this is very latest music, right? And you know, radio also focuses on music that is trending at the moment. So you did really, really well in that area. You had a traffic update that was just fantastic. You know, when people listen to radio, most of the time in the morning, they're listening to radio in their cars, in their taxis, and they rely on you to sort of map out the place for them. So when you were able to tell us that, okay, there's an accident in this area, and these are the alternative routes, I was impressed. I was like, you didn't just tell us, Banange, Wanwaganye. You actually went ahead to give proper information, provide alternative routes for your audience, and which is why people listen to radio, because it's useful. There's useful information, and that information is very useful to your audience. You use social media. This again goes to all the teams that have been using social media. I really, really love that because you create one extra platform for your audience to engage with you, and you also create a channel where they can talk to you. And I think that's really great. And when you use social media, you did the wonderful thing of making sure that they are differing, opinions. And that's great stuff, okay? You also brought in experts when it came to interviews. And, when I was watching, I had issues. I was like, this expert, I'm not happy with him. But he came with these facts. He said, first of all said he's a professional. I almost thought you guys had brought in a real doctor. And you had, you had your medical opinion, you had your personal opinion, but you also backed it with facts. Okay, and that was beautiful stuff to watch. The other person also came in with a differing view, and that was amazing. Basically, you were representing different audiences, which is why on radio they tell you, first agree which angle you're using, because you want to represent as many audiences as possible. You don't want people to feel slighted, okay? We really, really, really love that. This next point again goes to all the teams that have been placing ads in their shows. I love that. I love the fact that you people understand that radio is also a money-making venture. We must make money. And ads is what makes us money. And the fact that you take time to produce an ad is also something commendable on its own. Okay, so that was great stuff there. Again, you guys did really, really well. And this is the cherry on the top. The main hosts, please step forward, like the lady and the gent. Are you guys friends outside of like university? You guys are really good friends. You guys, these guys had the best chemistry I have so far seen. Like, it was beautiful to watch. And chemistry works really important. You might think it's something really small, but it works really, really important. You know, because it is what moves the conversation from radio onto other platforms. If you listen to me and you listen to Brian, there's chemistry. And that chemistry may not even be necessarily because we are friends, but when you're in studio, you understand we have to work. And that means we have to, you know, coordinate, we have to sound like we know each other, okay? If you listen to me and Kasuku, people on social media move our content around. And that's what chemistry does. It makes the whole thing enjoyable. You guys had banter. Birthdays, what? Like that meant that you guys know each other. You hang out after here. And that's stuff that people fall in love. Those are the things, by the way, that made me love radio. I would listen to specific radio hosts. I wasn't even just tuning in for the content, but there are people that I was specifically tuning in to listen to. And basically, this was a great pairing. I don't know who's producing this show, but they did well by deciding on these two people. As in, you did your job. You did your research. And I love the fact that you paired these guys together. They did amazing stuff. Now, onto the things that you guys could definitely better, okay? The first thing is that you need to do better on the press review. I know you guys are probably wondering, why does she keep fixating on a press review? But if you work in a company whereby they produce newspapers, a press review is very important because it's a selling point of the station, of the show. Imagine your boss is listening in and they're like, the way you're selling the paper sounds as if you're just going, let's move on to the next thing. It sounds bad, right? And it's the paper that makes money and maintains the job. So when you're doing a press review, please do the actual work. Don't just flip through it, all right? Or you could select one person who you know is going to deliver really well in that area. And also, the thing about a press review is that as it provides for your listeners what they missed while they were asleep, and also projects what the day will look like for them. So it's a key point. Don't play with it. Now, your links were really long. And we all agreed on that. Your links were very, very, very long, which is why you didn't manage your time well. They were good links, but extremely long. You needed to shorten them to have better impact. You deliver and leave your audience wanting more. So don't make your links extremely long. It's unnecessary. And there's as much as the pairing is great for the main hosts, don't double between content. As in, don't move from one thing, then come back to it next time. Like, if we're talking about, bantering about birthdays, we can't do it almost in each and every link. It's great when you do it once or twice, probably at the end of the show. But if you keep doing it through the show, it means that you probably don't have content and you're just using your personal chemistry to build content. It's fine, but there's no reason as to why somebody should tune in. You get it? So you don't double between contents, please, okay? And the other thing is, aside from managing your time, be very careful when it comes to managing your time, be very careful with the content that you use. When you're on radio, you have a whole system, and that system also shows you a schedule. So you manage radio by minutes. You plan for minute by minute, second by second content. So work very, very carefully on that. Otherwise, you guys did exceptionally well. I was very, 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 very impressed, and I wish you the very best.
Faisal, let me add one thing.
Yes, please.
I really want that the person that are taking sides when they're arguing on a different topic give us the information with passion. The topic you're handling of contraceptives can be argued out, or you can give a justification with passion. Young people are actually having sex. That's like the major thing. I need someone to tell us that on the radio. What are we medicating here? So the lady who was with the doctor, I felt like this guy was, dominating the interview, and you had information which you were shying away from sharing. You were there to tell us the facts. Young people are having sex. If they are having sex, what do we do about that? That is what I am. This is the second university. That's why I could not leave it pass to just go by just like that. So I am requesting the other teams, please give us the information with substance, with weight. Let us feel like the interview is actually serving the purpose. That does not downplay your performance. It was really great. And I am telling you to add to it with passionate arguments and justifications in the interview. Do you understand? I wish you the best.
Also, one last thing. I notice all of you are doing this. But when you introduce topics, please give them a background. Don't just say government has said that they're introducing, or they want to introduce contraceptives to 15-year-olds. That is sensational news. Well, the reason why it's a headline is to just be catchy, but the actual details is inside the story. So when you do stories, make sure that you have your details. Don't sensationalize stories. Those are very sensitive topics, because the reality of that story is that government just doesn't want to introduce contraceptives to 15-year-olds who are in school. They want to introduce them to 15-year-olds who dropped out of school, if you read the story. So don't sensationalize some of these things, because UCU is also following your show. Like, these were misleading their audience. So make sure you have your details and you give a background to this. No, not at the end, at the start. Otherwise, thank you so much.
All right, great feedback from the judges. And this is Team UCU. Let's give them a final round of applause as they leave the stage. Please visit the training room where you will be needed. And yes, next we will be having Team Nkosi, but before you get to studio, we will be having a 30 minutes break, strictly 30 minutes, and then we will return and have Team Nkosi proceed with the performances. Again, the coordinators for every university, please be sure to see Mr. Silas, and we will proceed from there. DJ, please.